You think this is new to me? Do you know how many rebellions I put down? How many worlds I've conquered? How many Avengers I've killed? And you think you can beat me? This is Harmless Phosphorescence. Hello, everyone. This is your host, Throw Smiley, but Quantum. Who's joining me this week?
Hi, I'm Josh Caesar. Holy shit, that guy looks like Brockman.
There's something I never told you. I'm Brian Lesh.
Stop asking about his holes. I'm Zarina.
I'm Alaric Weber. I'm sorry I look like broccoli, Josh.
It's all right. You just startled me.
How many holes does broccoli have anyways?
As you want. He does. Al's got his hair kind of up. You kind of look like broccoli, folks at home.
I could see him broccoli.
Yeah.
Chopping broccoli, yeah.
You broccoli, Al.
And this is Harmless Phosphorescence. It's the podcast.
He puts the rock in broccoli. All right.
Or the bro in broccoli.
Hey.
All of it.
This is Harmless Phosphorescence. It's the podcast where we watch every theatrically released full-length live-action superhero movie ever made. We gather some research into the production and source material. I am unable to speak today. And then we tell you all about it. You may have noticed we got a guest this week. Thanks for joining us, Serena.
Thanks for having me.
We had her on our first
Welcome.
Ant-Man pod, so if you would like to hear more from her, go back and listen to that.
What was the other one you were on? You were on another one, right?
It was Ant-Man, just Ant-Man, right?
I think, yeah, I think just one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. You'd know.
Yeah.
I do not know. I've Mandela affected myself.
We've already done Galaxy Quest, Josh and I, together
Yes.
in a dream.
Yeah, that's
At
true.
some point.
Brian and I have done so many
You've
shows
convinced
you haven't.
me that I've done it
Galaxy
as well.
Quest with our, and we had Sigourney Weaver on the show. It was great.
It was great.
Some quantum worlds, I'm sure.
This show is brought to you by our patrons. Patrons like executive producers Michael Beckwith and Atticus Burkett. You can be a patron too. Go to patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. We've got lots of extra podcasts up there, a bunch of movie ones. Split Second was up there.
None of them are extra except for Split Second. That one's extra.
Yeah, it is. And we'll be doing a League of Their Own soon. So check that one out. That'll be going up there for our monthly movie. We got some Star Wars ones, music ones. Check them out. This week, though, on Harmless Phosphorescence, we are watching Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
It's okay, breathe. We're gonna get out of this. And we're gonna go home.
This place, it isn't what you think. It's a cage. But we can help each other.
He's a monster. You cannot trust him.
I'm just a man. But I know how it ends.
I don't care what he can do. He's not getting out.
You thought you could win.
I don't have to win. We both just have to lose.
Marvel Studios' Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Experience it in 3D February 17th. Get tickets now.
Do it now. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
There was a lot of heavy breathing in that trailer.
There was.
That was just
weird.
me.
I was like,
That
are we
was
just
just
listening
me.
to Catherine Newton just breathe for a few seconds here? I'm glad that wasn't in the movie.
Yeah. It was released February 17th, 2023. Had a running time of 124 minutes. Cost $200 million plus $100 million in promotion. And made $476 million. So it was one of the least successful MCU films since it's been over a decade since we had one that tanked that badly.
Wow.
Dark World?
Dark World. Yeah, Dark World would have been the last. Hulk did not do well.
Oh,
Incredible
well,
Hulk. Yeah. Yeah, so it didn't do great at the box office. So let's talk about that, guys. You ready to play the box office top 10 game?
Yes.
Yep.
This is
Yes,
the
I am.
game where I will describe the top 10 movies of the week of February 17th, 2023. And our panelists here are going to try to guess what movie I'm describing using mostly the Box Office Mojo description. Here we go.
I love that we're panelists.
You're
I'm sorry
panelists.
to interrupt you. That made me giddy. Like we're on the match game or something.
That's right. It's like, wait, don't tell me.
The pyramid, whatever that was, 6,000.
But it kept going up. It started at, wasn't it like $5,000, and by the end it's like 100,000.
Something like
Inflation.
that. I know it was a pyramid of some sort.
All right, here we go. At number 10 for the week of February 17th, 2023. A grump who's given up on life following the loss of his wife wants to end it all. But when a young family moves in nearby, he meets his match in quick-witted Marisol, leading to a friendship that will turn his world around.
A Man Called Otto.
Yeah.
Yep, A Man Called
Oh.
Otto. Hanks. I have not seen that one.
It's fun. It's
Good.
it's not a normal Tom Hanks performance, I guess.
Well, if he's grumpy, that's definitely not a normal Tom Hanks performance.
Yeah. It's like Old Man the Burbs.
Okay. That sounds good.
Not really, but
Well, you just led me down a Primrose Pratt. Yeah, I just haven't seen it. There was no reason.
yeah, it's fine. It's like an afternoon movie, you know.
So I don't know exactly what this means, but my stepdad's doctor told him to watch it.
Like medically, like it was a medical
It
recommendation.
was like, I'm going to write this out for your prescription.
Yeah.
Seriously. 'cause
I can't
my-
diagnose you as grumpy, but check this
But
out.
it's exactly what. That's it, Josh.
Yeah.
It's like you didn't want to say, or she, or whatever the doctor was, didn't want to say, but that was his part of his medical prescription was to watch Man Called Otto.
The moral of the story is fix your attitude.
No, the moral is anyone could be anything now, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
Like that's a doctor's recommendation.
That's like us recommending a medication to somebody. Stay in your lane, doc.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Or
Don't
like little that's a personal conversation after the appointment as you're getting ready to leave. Oh, have you seen the new Tom Hanks movie? Not like you should see the new Tom Hanks movie.
and the first 10 minutes of the movie, he's trying to commit suicide.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, like literally, you start the movie and it's like there is a person who might commit suicide in this movie, and you're like, oh, this movie's going to end really dark, and it opens with it. Like,
With
oh
Tom
god,
Hanks.
is there more suicide in this movie I should be worried about? It literally lingers like a cloud over the rest of the movie.
He was never the same since he and that volleyball got divorced.
It's true, Josh.
Never.
Number 9 for this week. After her mother goes missing, a young woman tries to find her from home using tools available to her online.
Oh, this is that text message.
That's how I find pizza.
This is the text message. My mom got kidnapped. I'm going to Central America by myself.
Yeah,
As a
you're right.
teenager.
Is it called Home Safe or Safe?
No, it's just called missing. But tools
So
available
defeated.
to her online.
Is this made by the same people who made that Jim Caviezel Sound of Freedom movie?
Oh,
They're like,
I
protect our kids where we go, whatever, QAnon crap. Sorry.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. No, I think they were just kidnapped somewhere in Central America, and she's sleuthing like those with the tools available, like an axe,
Yeah, Instagram and LinkedIn, you know.
a flint.
Find my mom.
Yeah. FindMyMom.com.
Oh my god, that should totally be an app. Like I've lost my mom and seen it. Use the Find My Mom app.
It's good, actually.
The poster says from the minds behind searching.
Oh, missing and searching.
Searching.
What about Taken? They're like, no, we have nothing to do with
It's
Taken.
taken already.
Yeah, she was taken. Now she's missing.
She was taken. Now she's left behind. It's hard to keep track.
I'm searching.
At number 8 this week. In late 1930s Bay City, a brooding down on his luck detective is hired to find the ex-lover of a glamorous heiress.
What? That was made in 2023?
Yeah. Starring Liam Neeson, Jessica Lange, and Diane Kruger. Diane Kruger Mellencamp.
You're waiting for that.
She tried that in a small town.
Wait, what is it again?
Yeah. What is it? It sounds like an 80s.
Something in Bay City.
Yeah.
Bay City.
It's
where the tigers are.
It's Marlowe. He's playing Philip. Liam Neeson is Philip Marlowe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Period piece detective noir.
Is it I mean, obviously they probably, but it's not a remake of like The Maltese Falcon or something that high profile, right?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's that specific.
Just a different.
Yeah. Yeah, he just.
Not Taken.
You already told us.
Marlowe. It's called Marlowe.
Oh, it's called Marlowe.
Marlowe.
I thought we were just talking about. I thought we were just talking about that's who he played.
Yeah, no, it's called Marlowe.
We should have let you guess some more.
Yeah.
I would have just, I was like, it's Hoover. All right.
Marlowe and me, just like a 30s detective running around Jennifer Aniston and Luke Wilson.
Why do I imagine Liam Neeson running like he's a golden retriever?
Right, on all fours.
But it still has the voiceover narration of a like film noir detective, but from a dog's point of view, naturally.
I'd watch a movie from the dog's point of view.
I have. We have. You have.
That's true. That's true. We all have.
Yeah.
Wait, was Air Bud from the kid's point of view or the dog's point of view, though?
Well, I think it's arguably, it's like, who is Cujo from their point of view or Cujo's point of view? If you're a dog, he's the hero.
Yeah,
that's true.
A brave dog defends his house.
I don't like people enough.
From the kid from Who's the Boss.
The dog's my hero too.
At number 7 this week, a teenage aristocrat falls in love with a kind but poor artist aboard a luxurious, ill-fated boat.
Titanic again?
Yeah, Titanic, the 25-year anniversary.
Aw, boo.
Terrible.
With new stars as people die in the ocean. I think that's the one thing
he changed the stars. Oh yeah, because he was told he got the
because Neil deGrasse
the
Tyson
astrological.
He's like it's off by a little.
Astronomical.
It's like shifted, I guess.
That's like, thanks, Neil.
Yeah.
I loved Neil deGrasse Tyson's like Cosmos and all of that, and then like he just kept talking on Twitter. It was like, bro, stop.
No, he stopped talking like Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he kept talking like he was narrating something.
Yes.
What are you guys talking about? I don't.
Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Oh,
Yes.
Neil deGrasse
What did he
Tyson he's the reason why in Titanic they changed the night sky as Rose and Jack are sinking, or Jack is sinking. Because I guess it was slightly off by like 15 degrees, which is a lot, but like really not that much. And
yeah. But also he has a pretty big Twitter presence, and it's not great. He says a lot of dumb things on Twitter for such a smart guy.
I mean,
I see.
that's Twitter.
Yeah.
He leaned into that rock star type thing instead of just being a famous scientist like Sagan or even Bill Nye or something.
Yeah. Well, and apparently he retweets the same jokes over and over again months apart, because if he doesn't feel like they got enough of a laugh the first time or something.
Yeah, he's workshopping.
Wow.
Yeah. At number 6 this week, while vacationing, a girl and her parents are taken hostage by armed strangers who demand that the family make a choice to avert the apocalypse.
Oh, knock at the cabin?
Yep.
Or something?
Yeah.
Dave Bautista. That's an M. Night.
Yes, it is.
And I will tell you, just like so many, it was a more than decent movie until the goddamn end. And he could have made any choice. I hate his twist.
Wait, how did it end again? I like M. Night Shyamalan movies. I'm one of those. So
Like I just
all
said, yeah,
died?
3/4 of the way.
Oops.
I like about half of his movies.
Yeah. Well, I like about half of his movies.
Yeah, I was like,
I like them.
10 years ago, he was batting 300. Now, I can't say it.
I don't know if he was batting 300 10 years ago.
That's true.
There are times
20 years ago, he was batting 300. It's been a long time.
Oh.
There have been times
I mean, that's
where
1 out of 3. That's less than 1 out of 3.
Yeah, yeah.
there are times when he doesn't realize that nothing would be better than what like it doesn't need to be explained. The way you explained it is so insulting after, especially when it's supernatural or God
Or
in
trees.
in giant quotes. Yeah, the trees
Or
are
coral and rocks.
that's what's
Yes.
happening.
The average moviegoer is very dumb, and he has not accepted that is okay, that those people are a little lost.
Well,
Yeah.
if you're going to accept supernatural elements, then it's okay to not explain them fully.
It really is. It really is. You can just be on the beach that makes you old. You don't have to.
Right, exactly. This apocalyptic
Swim
thing.
through the coral.
Yeah, I don't mind that it shakes out the way that but it's, I don't know. Anyways, knock at the door.
Yeah.
It was a very entertaining movie. I like Jonathan Groff.
Yeah, he's good acting.
I didn't realize he was in that.
He's good in it.
I'll see it for him alone.
Like I said, the premise, and it's great. Until he has to end it.
I can't remember, Josh. How did it end? See, that's how good it must have been,
I
right?
don't want to spoil, but at the end of the day, it was God. It was the actual apocalypse, and it was actually God, and he was actually upset, and they actually needed to appease him, and the world actually ended.
So it's Cabin in the
Oh.
Woods, basically.
No, it's the knock on the door is not just the end of the world. They're Jehovah's Witnesses, essentially.
It's a J-Dub horror movie?
Yeah, they're in a little cult. Dave Bautista has been seeing this prophecy. Jonathan Groff and his partner have to decide which one of them dies or the entire planet dies. This is what God wants. And it turns out that is what God wants. So there literally is an Abraham and Isaac situation. It's not something that's like a natural catastrophe. It really was that God was testing like these 5 people, and Jonathan Groff and his husband. Thanks a lot, M. Night.
Yeah. Speaking of Jehovah's Witnesses, I was walking on the Tucson Loop the other day.
Yeah.
And
they set up tables.
They had a table that just said mental health care. I was like, oh. And I got like a little past it, and I could see on the back the Watchtower, and I was like, hey, that's a bait and switch, motherfuckers.
I mean, they learned from the best. Scientology, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's too hot to go around right now, so
It's just going to sit in the shade.
sit in the shade. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry. go
Number
ahead.
5 at the box office this week.
No politics, no religion.
A group of friends made it their lifelong mission to go to the Super Bowl and meet NFL superstar Tom Brady.
80 for Brady.
80.
50? 80
Yeah.
for Brady, or is it 50 for 80?
It's 80 for Brady. This is a weird movie to exist. Starring Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, Rita Moreno, and Sally Fields.
I
Just
think
watched
it's
it.
quite a formula. I don't think it's all that wacky.
Yeah. I'm just surprised that all 4 of them are in this movie together. That's a cool cast.
It is. And
Well, it's
about
like
Tom
what was it, Last Vegas or Wild Hogs, or they've done lots
Yeah.
of it with Space Cowboys we were talking about recently.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of thing, and there are a surprising amount of aunties and moms out there that are obsessed with Tom Brady
It's funny
and
that
the NFL.
that it's such a like specific
Yes.
like person brand thing happening.
Yeah, those things age weird.
Yeah, they do.
80
Yeah.
so his name is in the title. That'd be like Michael Jordan's Space Jam almost.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another example, but there have been other ones where it's like, yeah, it was so dated.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there are ones like that. Yeah. At number 4 this week. A dancer takes to the stage again following a business deal that went bust, leaving him broke and taking bartender gigs in Florida. Then he heads to London with a wealthy socialite who lures him with an offer he can't refuse.
Magic Mike 3?
Magic Mike.
Yeah, Magic Mike's Last Dance, it's called.
I didn't realize that was the plot of that movie.
He goes to London?
Yeah, he was like
International Man of Mystery.
He's like, you're actually princess.
I have to admit, I started watching it, and then after like first dancing, I was like, okay, that's good.
Lost him.
Yeah, I was like, okay, it was very good. He's a great dancer. Like Channing Tatum. What is it again?
Channing Tatum. Yeah.
He does really good. He's like really sexy.
It's entertaining.
He was.
Well, I know the first one was semi-autobiographical.
Yeah, the first one was incredible, honestly.
Yeah, was he a
I walked
dancer?
out
Probably
thinking
was.
like, wow, it was really good. Yeah, he used to work in the nightclub.
He worked hard for the money. So
I've never watched any of those Magic Mike movies. I didn't even realize he was a dancer.
Oh, he is.
Good.
And Matthew McConaughey.
yeah.
I didn't know the plot
And
at
Fluffy.
all. I don't know how I
Gabriel Iglesias
that.
is in it too.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, the plot is out. They dance. It's exciting.
Is it
Somebody learns a
magical?
lesson. No, it's oiled, is what I would say. If there is magic in the movie, it's the ability for light to shine off of men's bodies.
The glistening.
Yeah, the glisten and the shadow.
The glistening.
All right, at number 3 this week, when our hero discovers that his passion for adventure has taken its toll, and he's burned through. There's no way to say this without giving it away. He's burned through a lot of his energy. He launches an epic journey to restore himself by finding the mythical Last Wish.
What?
I had to take some stuff out
Huh?
to like make it even slightly
Some
hard.
kind of-
Is
It's
it the number one
animated.
movie?
It's an animated film. It's a
Oh.
sequel.
Oh yeah.
It's a sequel to a spin-off. And it was strange. It was considered strangely good, this movie. Like, people were surprised at how good this movie was.
Animated?
Animated.
And a spin-off. A sequel to a spin-off.
Yeah.
That makes sense, but I'm trying to think of
It's the
Uh-huh.
second movie in a spin-off series from the original film
Is it a
series.
Minion? It's not a Minions movie, is it?
Not a Minions, but that's our general kind of ballpark we're talking about. Is that
Because
kind
that
of
was
animated?
spun off, right?
Yeah.
That was originally another.
Yeah, that kind of animated
Huh.
film series type thing. But it predates, the original series predates Minions. It's it gets brought up a lot by everybody. We talked about it last week briefly.
Oh, is it a Shrek? Oh, Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots 2.
Puss in
Yeah.
Boots 2.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm never too far away from the swamp in my mind.
Yeah. No, the word Shrek is said there at some point in the world. There's always someone saying the word Shrek.
Somewhere right now. Someone has said it.
Yeah, somewhere right now a kid is saying Shrek.
An adult is, or 4.
Yeah, if you stare into a
True.
mirror and you say it 7 times,
He will appear.
Smash Mouth song starts playing, and yeah, your door's coming down.
There's some Shrek fans out there. One of my students has the whole screenplay on a T-shirt. Sure.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really
Like,
cool.
There's so many films to do that with, but Shrek.
Yeah.
Classic.
Like, well, I mean, the best part is like
It's a classic.
Shrek can be a verb. It can be an adjective.
Be whatever you want.
He Shreked me. I'm feeling Shreky. You know.
Yeah. It's our smurfing, even though smurfing was our.
He's the shrekkingest
Smurfing,
Shrek who
yeah.
ever shreked.
Yes.
Yep. The Charlie Browniest.
At number 2 this week, Blue People, Water,
Avatar 2.
Yeah.
Avatar 2, not
Not the Smurfs.
not Black Panther 2, but Avatar 2.
It was okay.
Yeah.
First one
That's
was
fun.
better because it was interesting. This one was the same thing, except for it had like
Water.
Same, water people.
Water.
They were a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie was 10 years too late,
Oh yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Like, I'll wait 5 years for a movie. I don't know if I'll wait 17 or however many years it was.
Was it that long since
But
the first?
I think it was like 12.
It also became the fourth most successful film of all time monetarily. So like, I guess it was fine
First one.
as far as James Cameron's concerned.
Wait, this one or the first one?
The
Avatar.
second one.
Oh, okay.
The second one. The second
yeah,
one is
Avatar 2.
yeah, and the first one is number 1.
Yeah, again.
Yeah, because it took it back from Endgame with the re-release. And opening at number 1. Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne are dragged into the quantum realm along with Hope's parents and Scott's daughter Cassie. Together, they must find a way to escape. But what secrets is Hope's mother hiding? And who is the mysterious Kang?
Who's that fella?
Who's that good-looking guy? Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania opens at number 1. Doesn't stay there for long.
I want to hold you. I wish Quantumania was just them in Beatles wigs.
Did Avatar 2 open this week also?
No, Avatar 2 is in its
Okay.
we're 3 months into Avatar 2 at this point.
Jesus.
Wow.
And it's still number 2?
It was number 1 the previous week, yeah.
Wow.
Far out.
That's how it got all
Yeah.
that money. It had legs. It just stayed there.
Have fins.
Yeah, I mean, I gave them money for Avatar. That's still melting my brain that it had that much staying power.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
It was
them.
number 1 or
Avatar.
number 2 for almost 4 months.
Avatar 2?
Yeah.
Yuck.
That's how it made $2.5 billion. Yeah.
Man.
So that is the box office top 10, which brings us to the character and comic book background. Professor Al, tell us what we need to know about things that are quantum or not.
The people
Yeah.
living there.
Yeah. I got halfway through this movie before I realized halfway through my second watch before I realized, oh shit, there are new characters.
There are some characters.
I was gonna say I haven't had to do this in a while, but I did. What did we do last week?
Bulletproof Monk, you had to.
Bulletproof Monk, yeah.
BPM.
I was remembering Sheena too.
I love giving things that don't deserve acronyms.
Yeah, it's so impactful on our lives. We call it BPM.
So from the comics, first new character, and it was Josh. You mentioned it was they tricked us because Kang. This was not if you watch Disney Plus. This was not your first introduction to Kang, the complicated character.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got an hour or two, Al. Don't worry. We'll wait.
I shaved it down a little bit. The character who would become best known as Kang first appeared in
The artist, formerly known
Formerly
as
known.
Kang.
Yeah, best known as
Understand?
best known as Kang.
the citizen known as Hootie.
First appeared in Fantastic Four number 19, October of 1963, by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby.
Everyone drink.
This this issue introduced the pharaoh Rama-Tut, a criminal from the year 3000 who had traveled back in time and conquered Egypt. The character was implied to be the descendant or possible future incarnation of Doctor Doom. The same month, in the Avengers number 8, it is revealed that Rama-Tut traveled to the year 4000 after Egypt and adopted the name of Kang. A decade later, now we're in the 70s.
And disco's taking its toll.
So he's Kang the cool guy.
the character of Immortus, previously introduced in 1964, was retroactively established as the future identity of Kang. In December of 1984, it was heavily implied that Kang was not descended from Dr. Doom, but from Nathaniel Richards, the father of Fantastic Four's Mr. Fantastic.
And there's a lot of interpretation or murmuring as to whether or not, I don't know, Reed is the actual father of that show. I've read so many fan theories on, like, is Doom actually the father of Franklin Richards, though? Because, he was hollering at Sue Storm every single time they encountered each other. Him and Namor.
Let's see. In the 90s, Kang's birth name was established as Nathaniel Richards, which was Reed's father's name. What was their kid's name? Franklin. Okay. I couldn't remember.
At one point, he was the most powerful character in the Marvel universe.
Kang's in the 90s, Kang's birth name was established as Nathaniel Richards, though subsequent publications have continued to present Kang's ancestry as ambiguous. There were like several. So at some point, Sue Storm was Kang, and Kamala Khan was Kang for a while. This is what I mean.
It's a real, like, I'm Kang and so is my wife.
Yeah, totally. They're like Kang's everybody, it seems.
There's a little bit of Kang in all of us.
It's the Kang we made along the way.
Truly conquering time and space.
Well, it's a perfect character for that. Like, there's never, especially in a cinematic sense, like, oh, you didn't go back and pay that off. Oh, yeah, that was an incursion or a variant.
Yeah. Abilities include a genius-level intellect. He's a master strategist, tactician, and field commander. Access to advanced technology and a highly advanced battle armor that grants...
His power is access to advanced technology.
Access.
Just like the chick from that movie we heard earlier, Missy. He conquered with the tools available to him on the internet.
In his battle armor, the tools available to him is battle armor, which grants him superhuman strength, speed, stamina, and durability, time travel, telekinesis, energy, hologram, and force field projection, and the ability to control other forms of technology, like cell phones.
To control
a technopath?
Or regular phones.
Yeah, technopath.
They didn't explicitly say technopathy.
But his suit gives him an equivalent. He's
we've talked about it before.
Which is interesting. Usually they drop a term like that.
But Kang's whole thing is that it's, any science that we don't understand is equal to magic, basically, because he's from the future. I've always liked that. He's just a normal guy who brings his iPhone to the past.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I can do long division. Watch. Yeah. Like, I might not have the internet, but I'll show you a picture of the Earth.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I think the first time that we used the word technopath or technopathy was with Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
So that, you could see how the relation between the two is up in the air.
Well, there's another. So, in Multiverse of Madness, Reed Richard appears out of that square sort of portal.
Yeah.
And that tech is Dr. Doom tech. And it's blue. But Kang uses something similar, and it's gold. So, like at the end of Loki, and actually the doorways that the Time Authority come out of are gold alert like that. So fanboys are curious as to whether or not, when we do see Doom, if Kang has already taken some of his tech from him. Like if they already know each other from a previous battle timeline.
I clicked down on the Wikipedia page, and I'm glad I did, because under other versions, it tells me that the Spider-Ham reality contains a kangaroo named Kangaroo the Conqueror.
It does. It sure
God
does.
bless them with their puns. Animal-based puns.
And I guess there was an X-Men Star Trek crossover.
What? Tell me more about that.
Called Second Contact. An alternate version of Kang disrupts a number of timelines before being defeated by the combined effort of the mutant X-Men and the crew of the Enterprise E.
Oh, I'm going to find that.
Okay.
That sounds cool.
Ah, the E. That sounds very cool.
All right. Moving on to MODOK. Everybody's favorite floating head.
Or Modofk, more accurately.
More
It
accurately.
kind of made me mad that Scott did that.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know why. I was like, leave it alone. It's fine. We don't need the F.
Yeah, in acronyms, we drop off those unimportant words quite often.
Yeah.
MODOK first appeared in Tales of Suspense number 93, 94, September and October of 1967. That confused me. Was it 2 issues or 1 issue released at the same time? It doesn't matter. By Stan Lee and Jack Kirby.
Woo!
Drink.
The acronym Mechanized Organism Designed Only for Killing alternately used the words mental and mobile for the letter M. Actually, mental was the original usage. Mental organism designed only for killing.
Right, that's why there was the big brain. Just ahead.
Baby legs.
Baby legs.
After that, MODOK became a recurring foe for Captain America, quoting writer Mike Conroy, whose physical perfection he so resented. So MODOK was jelly of Captain America and his abs.
Interesting.
Fair.
Of steel.
His ass, America's ass.
We
we see MODOK's ass.
Yeah, we do.
The first butt we see in the MCU. Hopefully the last. I've had enough butt in the MCU.
It was a little weird.
Covered
The
in
first
jelly.
The first MODOK is George Tarleton, a former employee of Advanced Idea Mechanics, or AIM, an arms-dealing organization specializing in futuristic weaponry.
I feel like Stan and Jack spent a lot of time coming up with acronyms. Like a lot, like they set aside portions of each day just for acronym work.
It's like,
Yeah, I mean,
what's a good word? Can we make an acronym out of that?
absolutely, and they
AIM.
love, and we know they loved alliteration. Yeah, they would sit, during the day they would put together the comic. Then they would go get hammered in a bar and be like, what about a kid who got bit by a spider? What about a little baby guy with a giant head? Fuck yeah, Stan, I love it.
So
Too drunk, guys.
Marvel just had a game come out like 2 years ago, the Avengers game, which is not good. Don't buy it. But the story is interesting, and MODOK is a big part, and they go the George Tarleton route. And it was neat seeing them not do that. Honestly, I prefer this. I know that people were like, ooh, it's not MODOK. But I prefer this because the character has some connection to the story instead of just
setting up a whole new
Yeah.
well, like a floating head and a new company and all this other crap.
Yeah, and I
new
mean,
character.
And I mean, let's be clear. Like the design of MODOK is a little silly. And if you're gonna, we know they had to do it at some point because it's a very popular character. And if they were gonna do it, This is a good way to do it.
Is MODOK a popular character?
Well,
or is it? It's like Kang, where it's like he's
popular.
kind
A
of
well-known character.
yeah.
Right. But that the success of Guardians of the Galaxy blew any of that out. Like,
Yep.
I never would have imagined that Rocket Raccoon would be the dominant like character of the MCU.
I never imagined Rocket Raccoon would make me cry.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Like, they were kind of a joke group when I was growing up, reading the books. But yeah, this MODOK, there was an animated MODOK series. It's on Hulu, I believe. Patton Oswalt is
Stop
MODOK.
motion animation.
Yeah, exactly.
what's that?
The robot chicken type style.
Yeah.
Quite funny. Quite funny. And celebrity voices like John Hamm is Tony Stark, Iron Man. And he works at AIM. MODOK works at AIM and they're employees, and it's like,
Yeah,
that
you get
kind
the,
of
the
motif.
beekeeper suits too.
Yep.
Which is,
Yeah.
it's classic
Yeah.
Marvel. Yeah. What's her name? Is
yeah.
the daughter, and Ben Schwartzman is the son.
Yeah.
Santiago from Brooklyn Nine-Nine is the daughter.
Yes.
Oh,
They're
Amy-
both
No.
Fumero, I think. I think
But
so.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's married to a regular. Yeah. Yeah, shit.
yeah, and they have a regular life. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
So, George Tarleton undergoes, while at AIM, he undergoes substantial mutagenic medical experimentation designed to increase his intelligence. While successful, the experiments result in him developing a freakishly large head and a stunted body, causing the character's need of a hover chair for mobility. As stated previously, MODOK has a superhuman intelligence and psionic powers.
And his
That one.
powers are just because his brain got so big, right? Like his brain got so
Yeah.
big it became magical. Or
Well,
whatever.
yeah, using parts that the rest of us don't use. Blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
because it's big and he uses all of it.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Sounds like a 90s hip hop song. It's big and he uses all of it.
Chorus of girls singing it in the background.
And according to Wikipedia, Gentora and Krylar are also characters appearing in Marvel Comics.
Oh God.
I've listened to the Loveness and what's his name, Peyton Reed audio commentary. It just dropped on Disney, and they were like, "Yeah, we were like trying to scrape as many characters as we could from the existing Marvel properties because we knew we were going to create so many characters whole cloth that we wanted to be able to say like, here we are paying homage to Stanley and Jack Kirby." Basically.
So Krylar was Bill Murray. Who was the first character you said, Al?
Gentora, she was the revolutionary leader.
With the best weapon. Why didn't everyone just have that weapon?
Right.
I'd be like, I'll have the melting stick thing. Sorry. It stood out to me.
On Wikipedia, Krylar has. Okay, so the description is like, Lord. Oh wait, that's. Oh, sorry. He gets like he's a fictional character in American comic books published by Marvel Comics. Krylar is an assassin on Kai, who works for the warlord Vissus.
Oh.
He's a green dude in the comics. He does not
He's
look
what?
like he's green. He doesn't look like Bill Murray.
Green.
I imagine
yeah.
Bill Murray showed up and was like, "I'm not going to be green."
And I'm pretty sure that both Krylar and Gentora are from Hulk comics. Like that's where they showed up.
Gentora first appeared in Realm of the Kings, Son of Hulk #1 in February 2010. And it doesn't even really describe her.
They are not defined characters, really. They're just like named people that show up and they're like, "I'll help," and then they die or something.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they made up so many.
Honestly,
That's
it's-
unprecedented in the MCU so far.
they talked about it. They're like, it felt kind of weird creating all of these characters, but like they felt like they had to do that. It was interesting.
I mean, background, sure. They're in this quantum realm, but it's odd that they, just something that hadn't been done yet.
I
This
feel
was
like-
a very.
I was gonna say, I feel like that was a choice to not pigeonhole themselves into wasting more characters than they already did. Like use as like deep cut of a character as you can, so that it's not like, damn, why did we waste? Not to say that they wasted MODOK, but people feel like, oh, we should have got a MODOK movie or something out of this.
Some more Mo.
Yeah.
Yeah. This movie had a very Star Wars vibe to it, if you ask me.
That was their goal. That was what Peyton Reed wanted.
Okay, I was going to say, yeah. I mean, right down to like a cantina scene and, modes of transport that are creatures and machine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it definitely had Star Wars-y vibes to it.
It's crazy how many things they referenced as inspiration for this film that just didn't come together cohesively. Like they referenced Apocalypse Now in the fact that they don't reveal Kang until more than halfway through the movie.
Mm.
We hear about Kurtz all the time, and then you see him, and it's like, oh shit.
Right.
How much more of this movie is there? Joke's on you. It's 7 hours long. But like with this, they did this. That was the goal. Was like, oh, we wanted it to be whispers until he appears.
They did that. They pulled that off.
Yeah.
That
aspect. It's like the Star Wars thing. Like it felt like Star Wars to me, but just didn't all weave together in this finely woven tapestry.
Well, and it's a vague evil. It's very ambiguous. So like the Empire, like you feel like it's bad, but then when you see Darth Vader, you're like, oh, this is bad.
Yeah. Well, I found it did that thing where it's like they hype up how powerful the antagonist is, and then at the end, like when he like lets loose, really just shoots CGI at people from his hands.
Yeah. I have thoughts about that. I think that they could have done one thing that would have made all of that better. We'll get there.
So, all right. Well, thank you for the background, Al. That brings us to the production of the film. It was directed once again by Peyton Reed, who directed the first two. It was written by Jeff Loveness.
This is his only screenplay credit.
Yes, his only screenplay credit, and he's the only one. He's the only name on this too. So usually we get like 7 people on Marvel movies, but he's the only credit for writing. He's
Rick and Morty.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Rick and Morty. He wrote for Jimmy Kimmel for a while too.
Oh, okay. This is a staff writer.
Yeah, but he's a writer producer on Rick and Morty.
So then that's what I meant. It's like rather than saying it's his only movie, it's probably his first.
Yeah.
Yes.
He probably has a career.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he comes from a comedy sci-fi writing background. So obviously Rick and Morty, you can see how the connection there. In
fact, it didn't occur to me until now. Excuse me. We've seen the Russo brothers do so many, but a Dan Harmon Marvel movie would not be like. I bet he could have done a MODOK movie. Actually,
yeah, he could have. Wow.
All right.
So our cast, we've got Paul Rudd back, Evangeline Lilly back, Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer. Let's see. Catherine Newton plays Cassie Lang, our third Cassie Lang. It's
great. Wow.
Yeah, it's weird that they recast her from Endgame, considering I'm not sure why they recast Emma Furman.
I mean, I don't think that Sarah Halley Finn cast her to play alongside Paul Rudd. I don't know if they anticipated that being where the story would go. Like him and his daughter going on an adventure. That's why I think that happened. And Catherine Newton's just really funny. So
yeah, Catherine Newton's great. She let's see, she got her start. She was Oh, one of the kids in Bad Teacher, Paranormal Activity 4. Oh, she was in Lady Bird.
Yeah.
She was in, that's right. 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri.
She must have been really young when that came out, right?
It was
10 years ago.
It was the same year as Lady Bird, actually, 2017.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no.
What is time?
Everything past the pandemic is nothing makes any sense anymore time-wise.
Also, 2017 was 6 years ago. That still hurts my brain. None of this makes sense. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. So she is going to be playing Lisa Frankenstein in the upcoming movie Lisa Frankenstein, which is
it's an adaptation of Lisa Frank, right? Like they're using.
No, it's a horror comedy written by Diablo Cody.
Yeah, but okay, cool. Lisa Frank.
Yeah, no, it's a play on Lisa Frank, absolutely. On the.
It is. It's not a play off of Frankenstein.
It's a play off both.
It's both.
Yeah, it's a play off that. But
Lisa Frank is from Tucson.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't Lisa Frank a Tucson native?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so
didn't
then
something really bad happen to her too?
I don't know. She still lives here. My mom knew her casually, but that was like in the late 70s, early 80s. She had the factory and warehouse on the south side of town. It closed down.
Yeah, it's still,
but it's still painted rainbow, but it's never been updated.
And it's still sitting there abandoned. I see people.
Yeah.
People occasionally talk about doing some like urban spelunking in there or something.
Yeah, exploring it.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror. Jonathan Majors, of course. Oh, let's see. He kind of, like, I guess The Last Black Man in San Francisco is kind of where he came into public consciousness, or maybe Lovecraft Country a little more. So
Lovecraft Country is where I first went. Like,
that's where I first saw him.
Yeah. Let's see. He was in Creed 3 just this year. Of course, there's been some personal things that have happened recently that have put his future in
I haven't
film.
been able to keep track of this one. I'm not sure.
There's been a lot of up and down, back and forth. At this point, I'm not really sure where we've landed on this.
It seems like Disney is a little bit more comfortable putting him and his face and his name on things again. So,
yeah.
What was the allegation? I don't remember.
That he hit his girlfriend in a taxi cab. But there are also claims the taxi cab driver was a witness to her hitting him and him not hitting her. So he's
right. I heard there was a complaint on both. So, like they both filed charges against each other.
There's something about New York State where if there is a domestic violence incident, somebody has to be charged. So
Arizona has the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that the police are not walking away from these incidents and leaving abusers and their victims together, basically.
Well, not just charged, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they have to be taken,
arrested.
And, yeah.
You can't say I'm sorry. I think they both were.
Yeah, I think she may have.
Well, he might have been the one arrested that night, but then, like I said, the follow-up I read was that
I
both
think
were charged
last week or 2
battery.
weeks ago that happened. Yeah, it's hard to keep track because it's who cares.
So
also
possibly it was a slap fight in a cab between a couple, but I don't know. I'm not defending this guy. I don't know what he's actually done.
Yeah, but it does seem that he is going to stay as Kang as of right now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, if they let that one dude in.
The Flash?
Yeah, the Flash, exactly. How did you know? All I said was that one dude.
Yeah, Ezra Miller.
I mean, after that,
it's crazy that
awful.
didn't kill his career, but the Flash's box office probably did.
Yes, the fact that
it came out already and didn't do well.
It's the biggest flop, like commercially, right?
It's the biggest commercial flop in history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it took 15 years to get there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know it was a big.
And decent people like Michael Keaton didn't deserve that bullshit.
No.
He deserved that to be a triumphant return because he meant a lot to a lot of us. But I can't stand that as F
Can't
that
stand
guy.
him, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Can't stand ya.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Additionally, we've got David Dostmalchin as, what was his character's name? Veb. That's the guy with no holes. Yeah, he's
Drink the ooze. I love that.
yeah. We saw him
I
before.
love that character too. His voice, I thought it was somebody, more well known.
Yeah, David Dostmalchin. He was in The Dark Knight. He played Thomas Schiff.
He was in Ant-Man 1 and 2.
He was.
Oh.
as Kurt.
And he's Polka Dot Man?
Yes. Yeah.
The Suicide Squad. Oh, wow. Okay. So, yeah, he came back. Because Ryan, you probably know because you watched that thing. They had to eliminate a lot of characters just to get to the quantum realm as fast. Like Judy Greer and Bobby Cannavale are not in this.
Yeah.
The guys, so Luis, the guys from the security
Not having
business,
a Luis summation in this really felt wrong.
Yeah.
That and the lack of Judy Greer.
Yeah.
Also.
The lack of
those
Judy
two,
Greer in anything feels wrong.
For real.
And-
she should have
and
at least
I
been a
love
phone
Bobby.
call after jail.
Yeah.
And Bobby Cannavale should have been there too.
Yeah, because he's a cop.
Yeah.
No, they.
Judy Greer should have been Marion Ravenwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They talked about in the audio commentary trying to cut through anything that's a connection to San Francisco as quickly as possible to subvert the we're going to spend some time on the top side world so that we could just get sucked into the quantum realm, literally.
They
Right, that's
did it
what
real fast. Yeah.
30 minutes. I actually noticed that, and I don't usually pay attention. I was like, wow, 30 minutes. We're already into the quantum world.
Because if
Already
they'd
in.
spent another 15 minminutes on Judy Greer and Bobby Cannavale and Luis and what's
Was
his
it
name?
even that
T.I.
long? 30 minutes? It felt like 10.
10?
5. I don't know. It was just
I
like
think it was, because I looked up and that's when they got sucked in.
Well, there's the opening of Kang and Janet, and then there's his little. But yeah,
Welcome
30s.
back.
Well, yeah, 30 even seems like a long time, but yeah,
Yeah.
they had to get to the quantum realm stat.
Yeah, they did. They got there very
Post
fast.
haste.
So all right, as Gentora, we have Katie O'Brien. She's been in a bunch of indie
Mandalorian.
stuff. Oh, Mandalorian, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. We have, of course, Bill Murray as Lord Krylar. This is a man who showed up, shot all of his morning scenes, and then went to lunch and never came back. And they were like, "All right, that's what we got."
You know what's funny? Jeff
Really?
Loveness said this
No,
about
not
Bill
really.
Murray being on set. Jeff Loveness was walking up to him, or not Jeff. Bill Murray was walking up to him and saying, "Hey, this joke that you wrote, switch these two words around. Hey, maybe put this in front of that." So it sounds like he spent not a ton of time necessarily, but was intimately involved with conversations with people. So it did not sound like he showed up and punched in and punched out, which was what I thought that performance.
That performance felt like a punch in and punch out, but it's just getting Bill Murray to show up on set apparently is a feat in and of itself. So
It's true. And I'm not going to say he's one of my heroes, so I don't mean to say a little goes a long way in a negative sense, but that was a nice garnishment of Bill Murray.
yeah, absolutely.
It was fine, it was good. It was
Good
enough.
acting.
And he was
enough.
being a dick also, classic Bill Murray role, where he's just
Right.
combative. And it was
Yeah.
fun to see him and Michael Douglas kind of rub against each other in that way.
That was fun.
It was actually closer to his character Frank in Scrooge.
Yeah.
than in some other, you know what I mean? Technically, no, but in the ways that matter, yeah.
I got big
that's
Venkman
good.
vibes from him too.
Yeah.
That was good for her.
William Jackson Harper played Quaz. That's the telepath. He's best known as Chidi from Good Place.
Chidi.
Yeah.
That's a fun character.
He is great. He's good in everything. And of course, we got Corey Stoll back as Darren Cross, MODOK. As MODOK. Oh, and a super brief Randall Park cameo.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Woo was there for a sec.
Yeah.
Agent.
I was aware of that, but I missed it all the times that I watched it. Where was
Just
Jimmy Woo?
in the beginning
quick-
montage where Scott's just like famous and happy.
It's the welcome back montage.
Yeah.
They're having like brunch or breakfast together,
And he does some
and
magic.
there's a couple across the way, and they like both smile for a picture together, but you know, to let us know they're still in touch and friendly.
Okay.
No lines. He doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
It's while he's reading his.
This movie, the lack of the ex-cons and the inclusion of David Dastmalchian makes me realize that they probably just didn't want to bring T.I. back because he has all kinds of controversy tied to his name. Like worse things than Jonathan Majors. I mean, not to say that that is acceptable.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. But like, yeah, T.I. has all kinds of questionable shit. And it was happening around Ant-Man 2. So they were probably like, how do we jettison this guy?
Yeah.
And not explain it, because you don't want to waste any air on explaining why a character's not in a movie. You know, it's a huge waste of time.
Some more cameos. Greg Turkington as back as the Baskin Robbins store manager.
That's always fun.
The guy, yeah, always. The guy asking for a picture of Ant-Man with his dog was Mark Oliver Everett.
Yeah,
from the Eels. Yeah.
Yeah. His dad is the author of the many worlds, parallel universes concept, I guess, in quantum physics.
Yeah, Hugh Everett the
Wait,
third.
who?
Mark
Yeah, Hugh
Oliver
Everett.
Everett's dad.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
The band Eels, I guess. That's how, yeah.
Yeah. And of course, in our post-credits cameos, we've got Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson.
I didn't think of that as a cameo. That's more of an advertisement for Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was exciting, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
It was fun to see him in an old timey, was Edwardian, I guess, more than anything, but yeah.
I'm excited for the Victor Timely side of things.
Yeah. So.
All of the King.
Yeah.
Variants. I'm down.
So.
It was like I came out of some kind of closet there for a second. I'm down, and then quiet. He wants to see Kang. Shh.
We accept you as you are, Josh.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Kangs and all.
No judgments.
I appreciate that.
That's about it for the production. It has 46% on Rotten Tomatoes. It is the lowest rated across all website metrics. It's the lowest rated MCU film.
that's
Still
bad.
weird to me.
Yeah,
I
it
think
is.
so too.
It
Not
doesn't
fair.
deserve that.
it does
Yeah.
not. I
There's
thought
worse.
absolutely there's worse.
The Dark World, I don't care for.
No, Dark World's terrible. It's a terrible movie.
I think this is better than Thor Ragnarok. Not Ragnarok. Sorry, I take that back.
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder.
Yeah,
It didn't swing as hard for whatever it was doing, but
That's true.
It hit what it was swinging for better than that did.
Yeah.
It was more cemented in the Marvel universe. Even though there were so many made-up situations and characters like MODOK and Kang, that's like knee-deep type shit. Love and Thunder barely skip. Gore was introduced, but
Yeah.
Like plot.
This feels like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
Almost.
Plot and beat wise, this was very much in your kind of like Marvel Amazon basic kind of movie.
yeah, shit needed to be
Amazon
set up.
Your Marvel basic movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll set up the Kang dynasty. That's it.
So I have a few letterboxd reviews here. Pepe Rulibo writes, "It took me 31 films, but I finally started to empathize with Martin Scorsese." 2 stars for that one.
I think that's right, though. This is guilty of what Scorsese was saying. This is an example of that.
It is
Nico Man.
Like, is popcorn movies? Like, he wasn't even giving them the credit of them being like, they're not. It's not cinema. It doesn't elevate the craft.
He said
or
it's like
whatever.
going to an amusement park ride.
this had all the intention behind it to elevate and be more than what it was, and it just wound up being all these things that they put together. It just was a movie.
Yeah.
You know.
Tom Broadhurst writes, I haven't seen it and I don't plan on it. #lol, half a star.
I love how many people there are like that out there. Declaring what they're not going to do or what they don't
and then
like.
give it 1 star just because.
But also,
it's like
then,
some YouTube person said, like, this is too woke, and they're like, oh, I need to go to the comments section and rate this thing.
favorite part is
these people are even in another class, even on their own. They're not. It's not even about the woke thing or not. They take the time to enter a conversation and be like, I don't like that, or I'm not going to see that. It's like ordering food. Like we've talked about it before. It's like I'm not going to eat those.
well, it's like the
all right.
It's like the
don't
1-star.
care.
It's like the 1-star reviews on Amazon. It's like I didn't buy this. 1 star.
Right.
But I don't like the
for
picture.
chiming in. It's like I can't believe we called on this guy. That's what you had to say.
My favorite part is #lol. So like he's like people that are searching for that hashtag need to find
Hashtag
this.
LOL.
Part of the LOL movement.
Yeah, what chaos that search must bring. #LOL.
There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to this.
And it never ends.
None of these are funny. What is happening?
Macy I am name writes, not fire, half a star.
So you're going to start saying that. Not fire. Half star.
I don't know. I just read that as very sad. Not fire.
We wanted it to be.
Yeah.
He's trying to make fire.
Movie fan 38 writes, one of the best naps I've ever had.
All right. That's
This is-
low-key something I would.
This movie is a good movie to put
Right.
on in the background, I will say.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it just
Like,
CGI's all over you for an hour and a half.
It was
Yeah.
good CGI,
I
though.
think it was on twice yesterday here at my house. Yeah. I think it goes quickly. It doesn't seem like a long movie
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't feel long. Orsom writes, Broccoli Man carried this film, 5 stars.
He did his part, let's say.
Then Jenna Nelson writes, live, laugh, love, 5 stars.
Sorry, what's that screen name
Tell him,
again?
Jenna.
Jenna
Jenna
T.
what?
Nelson. Jenna T. Nelson.
Like Craig T. Nelson? Like she named herself after Craig T. Nelson?
I guess so, yeah.
Famous football coach.
Or it's Craig T. Nelson's daughter. And they go,
And he named her Craig or Jenna T. Nelson.
right. I love how with celebrities, like when it's
He is the.
like T. Nelson basically becomes his last name as far as like the
Yeah.
public is concerned. It's like Robert Downey Jr. Like his wife is like Sarah Downey Jr.
Yeah. As if Junior were a part of
Yeah.
the last one.
Junior's not his last name.
And then Gary 5 writes,
Disassemble Gary 5.
I haven't seen a new Marvel movie in a while, but this one had ants. There were ants. 5 out of 5.
It's not wrong.
True.
The chair recognizes Gary 5.
So that's
I
about.
love ants.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
I like it.
Yeah, and it's.
I loved every time Michael Douglas started talking about his love for ants because he sounds so genuine.
That
Yeah.
dude loves
He's so
playing this
aggressive.
role.
It's just like, I like
Yeah.
ants.
And yeah, I love that they had him be the reason why the ants are involved. He is the reason why ants are so important. Scott
He's
doesn't
the-
give a
he's
shit about
Ant-Man.
ants. Hank doesn't, or what's her name? The daughter, Hope, doesn't care about ants. The mom doesn't care about ants. Hank is the only one who cares about ants.
Yeah, he's really
He's like
into
the
ants.
dad who's into Civil War battle sites on the vacation. Nobody else wants to get out of the car. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of Hope, that's a character that had nothing to do in this
No.
movie.
No.
No, I didn't.
Except
Yeah.
look good in her suit.
Yeah.
Worry about her mother and feel
What?
feel like abandoned still by her mother, I guess. I don't even fucking know.
No, resentful. Go ahead, Serena, please.
I was gonna say, I don't even understand the relationship between her and Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Like, are they friends? Are they besties?
No, they are lovers.
Are they
They're a
lovers?
couple.
They're lovers.
They are?
a couple. Something that is barely
Couldn't even
acknowledged
come
in
out.
this film.
They
Interspecies
didn't kiss
breeding.
Not one beso, nothing. They never even
Yeah.
like. There was that one scene where they were up on the tower and they were just like watching. They were cuddling, but I was like, are they?
Yeah, they
Are they,
embrace
are they
closely,
brother and
but-
sister? Or I don't get it.
Yeah,
Just kidding, you know.
this movie has her character name in the title, and
Adam
it's just crazy how little
saves
she had
him a
to
couple
do,
times, you know, but
which is awesome.
yeah.
But like, she just shows up like out of the blue to save him every time, and it's just like,
Right,
What?
and her,
Shows
her
up-
emotional conflict is that her mom didn't tell her about Kang.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't know if I would have. You know what?
Yeah.
At Thanksgiving or something, like, by the way,
I helped.
like, how do you even?
I helped time traveling Hitler build his army back up again.
Yeah,
Well,
on
and I trapped him.
accident.
But
trapped him
yeah.
down.
also, okay. Well, I mean that all right. So just right off the
Yeah,
top,
that's, yeah.
bringing up the fact that she doesn't want anything to do with the quantum realm. At the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, she was quantum realming all over the place with the others.
Yeah, they were going to collect jars of goo from the quantum realm, or jars of
The
energy.
ooze.
Or, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, are we ready to jump into the movie, everyone?
Yes, for sure.
All right, here we go.
Let's drink the ooze.
This is
Let's
Ant-Man.
totally do it.
Drink the ooze.
This is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. We open with Janet. Damn it, Janet! You're trapped in the
So
quantum
many
realm.
times I said that to myself.
She's trapped in the quantum realm. Kang crashes. They meet, and we cut to Welcome Back, Cotter. The voice.
Are those robots fighting Kang and Janet?
No, those were
just
Sorry.
Yeah.
quantum
Sorry.
things.
Yeah.
Oh, robots
Yeah.
quantum
fighting
creatures.
They came
Kang
out.
and
Kang and
Janet.
Janet.
I'm with you. I'm with
Um,
you. Didn't take me too long.
This scene, they were like, we wanted this to be like Unforgiven. You know how Clint Eastwood is just living out there by himself, and I was like, you failed. You failed to make me
Yeah.
think about Unforgiven.
Yeah, I didn't
Okay.
think that at all.
Yeah.
It was weird
Yeah,
to
no.
have that opening little, tag at the beginning, and that was there. Like, yeah, this is the set piece of that, and I was like,
her quantum ranch home.
yeah, like she lives in a particle, and I was like, okay, fail right off the bat.
She has horse slugs.
she does.
Yeah, she does.
And
They
she
called them-
knows how to use them.
They called them a snorse because it's half snail, half horse.
Hmm.
Fuck that.
I feel like a lot of the concepts of a lot of the not aliens, the quantum people, and the weirdness was a lot better in concept than in execution. Like it gave me.
Yeah, that's fair.
It gave me half baked. It gave me prequel vibes as far as like how it looked.
So they asked their entire creative team to go through and find things that they did not think would make it into projects, and we will put it in this movie. Was
Into
basically
other Marvel projects.
Really?
Well,
That's really
or
what
just-
they did?
or just into anything really. Like if you got stuff in your like your portfolio that you think will never see the light of day, and you want it to be in a movie, bring it to us and we might put it in the movie. And they literally turned away no ideas.
So it's that Key and Peele sketch.
That's in
It's
the
in the
movie.
Like
movie.
Gremlins too.
Yeah.
He's made of vegetables. That's insane. It's in the movie.
Which honestly, I think it's cool that was the concept behind it, but yeah, just the execution of it didn't come together.
The execution.
Well, it's-
I feel like the execution of this film is a solid C.
Oh yeah, it is
It's-
middling at best.
It's strange to have a throw everything at the wall attitude when you're dealing with Marvel with such a rich universe and character base, and
Yeah,
it's odd to just be like, wow, let's see what
Well,
sticks.
and there's
Like,
an element
already
to
shit.
these characters, because it's like we want everything to be unique. but they're also representative of populations in the quantum realm that
Yeah.
Kang has eviscerated. But there's not enough people to feel like there's collective groups of these people that remain. Every single one of them is the sole survivor of the group they're from, which is frustrating to me.
That is,
or like the
I was
last
just-
6 of them, you know, like there should be groups of 50 or 60 people where it's like, I got to go back to my other light up head people and tell them what we just discussed.
It stuck out with me in a scene later on with Cassie, where with the head of the rebellion, like he took everything. He took all of our homes from us. Says it so matter of factly as if Cassie is supposed to know they're refugees. It's like, how do I know this isn't how you already live?
Yeah.
So yeah, they are implying that there are social classes and perhaps, for lack of a better word, ethnic classes and stuff. Because like to Scott and Cassie, it's like, how do I know this is you looking oppressed?
Yeah.
You know?
I
Weird.
just drank a guy and now I understand you. Like,
Right. How do I know this is not every day?
yeah, I think that they could have really done more with the refugee thing to make these characters make sense as background characters and why they're kind of throw them at the wall kind of characters. But they didn't.
I understand why they had to do it, but also it's a little frustrating that some of the people are just kind of humans that are there.
And I'll accept that. Like Krylar,
Yeah.
I have a human penis, if that's what you're asking. Like, that's funny to me. And that's like a comic book thing where it's like, oh, okay, yeah, these characters are all kissing each other. So
Yeah.
it must work, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Man.
All right. So we get the voiceover by Scott as a montage. He's famous. He's happy. He wrote a book. He's given a reading. He apparently read the whole book because he's at the end.
That would take so long.
Yeah.
What's funny is that you keep thinking it's the last line of the book, like, watch out for the little guy. And when you're out there, like, it's just, he's so verbose. He
The
can't
book
end
thing
it.
is one of my favorite bits in this whole movie, though, and it pays off so well with Hank. Like, I liked that the book was how we got to Scott.
Yeah.
I was rewatching Ms. Marvel recently, and they have a quick scene where she listens to his podcast, like Small Talk, Little Talk, or whatever. So it puts out there that Scott Lang really has been cashing in, or
I mean,
not in a bad way, but
yeah, he would be. He would be.
Yeah, why not?
He saved the universe.
Yeah.
Or half of it.
Yeah.
Well, kind of, yeah. Because like if he hadn't gone into giant man mode when the Avengers campus blew up, a lot of
Well, but
true.
also he was the
he
one.
did more than participate.
Also, he's the one that like came to them with the
That's true.
idea.
Rambling about time travel.
The time heist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was him.
So, all right. He gets a call from the cops. His daughter Cassie's in jail for, I don't know, shrinking a car or protesting or something.
Refugees, man. This is the thing that drives me fucking nuts about this movie. There are so many opportunities for this movie to go woke, go broke, whatever. I don't give a shit. I love that shit. Give me more female-centric movies. We were just rambling about Barbie before this started. But there are refugees from the snap in San Francisco, and she gets arrested from helping them. I don't need to see that necessarily. But like that's not really connected to what's happening in the quantum realm. Well, she's like, these people need our help, Dad. That's as connected as it gets. Like we don't see the world from those people's perspective.
Well,
you know?
I mean, Cassie's only character, the only character she has is that she wants to help people. That's the only character thing she has.
Quality.
Trait. Thank you, Al.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there are blip babies. I don't know how to put it.
Blip babies. Yeah.
Like it's weird because I guess they illustrated it better with Spider-Man, but there's not a clear generational divide in the Marvel universe because there was this. You were either missing or you aged, and everybody else came back the age you were. But so
yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what I'm trying to say, but blip like so she.
Well,
she didn't blip. So
it's heavily implied that her mother and Bobby Cannavale also were blipped. At least that's kind of Loveness. What's his name? We're kind of like, yeah, she spent those 5 years alone.
Oh, see, that's
and I'm like,
That's right.
That's rough.
And I wish that had been more clear.
I thought it was because he was like fighting or something, but it was because of the blip that
or
she
she
like,
just
that's okay. I'm used to being on my own or taking care of myself.
Yeah, like her mom wasn't around. I wish that had been more show us.
I wish that
as
had been
well
a
as
little more
telling
explicit
us.
because then that would have she could have been that could have done a lot for her character. Like I'm used to taking care of myself. I'm very capable. I know what to do.
And have her character arc come into being, I love being with my father. Wow, this is so much better than being alone or whatever.
Mm-hmm. That would have been good. Good story, guys.
But like that and the refugee thing, like they're right there. You put them in your movie. You didn't do anything with them.
Honestly, I didn't even get the refugee thing until you guys are speaking about it right now.
Yeah.
Just the fact that
they were breaking up homeless camps.
Yeah, and until you guys started talking about it, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. There should only be like this amount of people. I didn't consider that. But
and like science fiction should reflect the time that it's in. And worldwide refugee crisis for the past 20 years
that
plus.
Good.
But then at the same time, all the like haters couldn't get away with saying Antifa or any of that bullshit because it was the blip. They're homeless because of the blip, this specific thing that happened in the Marvel universe. And they developed two different points of view. People who saw everyone blip and be gone for 5 years and come back, and the people that were just gone.
Mm-hmm. There's no affordable housing.
Yeah.
There's probably empty houses everywhere still. Capitalism.
Well, we apparently let the world get into some disarray in those 5 years. We see it, in New York Harbor when Captain America has his,
I think this is the last.
Garbage.
This is the last opportunity that Marvel had to really explore that without it feeling forced.
Yeah.
And they chose to go straight to the quantum realm and not do that.
I'm not sure they ever really explored it well at all. I mean, I guess Falcon and the Winter Soldier did it the most, but that was also just so we could have
they're doing it now with Fury.
WandaVision, we get a little bit of it too.
They mostly use it so we can have, our multiracial terrorist groups that want to blow up random vans
because of things the blip did.
Yeah. So, all right. So, anyways, Cassie and Scott, we learned they have a strange relationship. They go to dinner at Hank and Janet's house. They make a little pizza big, and then we learn Cassie's been doing secret quantum experiments, unbeknownst to Scott.
Do they all live in Hank's house?
I got the feeling they were going there to visit or something. I don't know.
Like, I don't need to know their living situation, but Scott spent 2 movies trying to be able to have his daughter stay with him.
Mm-hmm.
And we get no resolution of that. Not that
I think we've seen Hank's house because he's shrunk it and taken it. He took it to the beach, which I've always had a problem. Like, does the plumbing and electricity and everything just magically attach wherever you make it grow?
He just shrunk a little thing that shrinks the poop into a tiny.
He shrinks the poop.
He shrinks the poop. Having to throw a little disc on your fucking turd every time. But
he's also a rainwater harvester.
That's true. And ants. Just, ants. You can apply ants to almost anything. I got the idea it was Hank and Janet's place and that he has a lab in the basement where Cassie gets to fuck around without anyone seeing her.
Right.
So I think it was dinner time. I think it was dinner at Grandpa Hank's.
It was, but like that's but do Scott and Hope live there with them?
I don't think so. That was my point. I think it was Hank and Janet.
I think it seemed like Hope was helping Cassie with the ant science
projects.
The projects. So she probably because she was aware of what was going on in the basement. If Scott lived there, he would have been more aware that
I would think so.
Cassie's spending a lot of time in the basement.
Yeah.
Grandpa.
So, Cassie shows them her quantum experiment. Janet freaks out because this one's bad, unlike the ones they were doing at the end of the previous movie. But before
we're also introduced to Hank's techno ants.
Yes, he has techno ants.
We are not ants. We are Devo.
But before they can shut it down, they all get sucked into the quantum realm, and so do some of the ants.
And they all get sucked into the exposition machine.
Yeah,
I think every ant got sucked in. The whole
Everything, yeah,
the whole
'cause the whole
thing,
farm
the
got in
whole
there.
farm, yeah,
yeah.
and broke
Every
inside.
ant.
I had a problem with the
Oh.
way Michelle Pfeiffer's character was just like freaking out in the beginning. Like it wasn't until I watched the whole thing and I'm like, okay, that's why she's freaking out. But it was just kind of like over the top freaking out. I thought, and like, what the? Bring it down a notch, Michelle Pfeiffer. But then I get because she was like,
Yeah, but it was a
this
quick
big-
turnaround. You're right. Because she was like,
Like-
oh, this is impressive. Oh, no. It's suddenly not, now that I heard the rest
Then
of
like, turn
it.
it off, turn it off.
Yeah, but it just drives me nuts that this wasn't something that they thought of previously to set up for her
Like-
character in any way.
But I guess they didn't know
Yeah.
about, yeah.
Yeah, no, they definitely did not know at the end
But
of
she didn't
Ant-Man
talk
and the
about
Wasp.
it at
Yeah.
all for all this time. She
Yeah.
just kept
Well-
quiet, just not saying anything.
And
Like he's Voldemort
she's-
or some.
She's not involved with the science in the house at all. Like
Yeah, what is she doing with her
Grandpa
time?
Hank was helping Cassie. What is Janet doing?
She's all keeping secret. It's a full-time
Dear
job.
diary.
I mean, like literally.
Dear
that's-
diary.
That's the
One of my
only
favorites.
action that Janet has done since the blip was returned is she has just been keeping this secret. That's the
Yeah.
only thing that we can attribute to her.
Well, I mean, she's also been watching Yellowstone.
That changes a woman, I've been told.
I mean, who hasn't been watching Yellowstone?
Guilt.
I've
Yeah.
never seen it. I don't know.
I don't know.
She's
I
like-
haven't seen it.
She's like,
I've heard
look, I
good
did,
things.
I did some weird shit down there. I did it with Bill Murray.
Apparently it's human enough.
So, all
No.
right. In the quantum realm, Scott and Cassie get separated from Hope, Janet, and Hank. Cassie and Scott get captured by some freedom fighters. Janet, Hope, and Hank meet some old friends that give her a flying stingray. They go to a city where they meet Bill Murray, Lord Krylar.
The dirt scene. It's super inspired by heavy metal, obviously, like the flying
Yeah.
trilobites and all that stuff.
Yeah.
This is one of the funniest things I've ever heard about a movie set mix-up. So there's a lot of dirt, and they're in the volume or wherever, obviously.
Yeah.
They didn't get dirt delivered. Whoever had the order for dirt filled the entire soundstage with manure.
Oh.
Ew.
So they showed up
That's
for
not
like
right.
a 3-day shoot, and it just was full of shit.
Jesus.
That doesn't
Yeah.
sound. I mean, sand. I don't know. Like manure.
Yeah, how can that be an accident? How do you mix
That's-
those
Right?
things up? How do you think like,
That
oh, they're
is
gonna
on
want
purpose, huh?
they're gonna want horse shit for this movie?
How does
Well,
3 days?
the manure show up and no one say, no, don't put that
Not
in
the ma-
here?
This
No,
is a
how do
Marvel
you
movie. This isn't a
How do you stand
college
there
movie.
as an actor and you're not even wearing a costume because that's going to be animated? You're
Mhm.
not even in front of a set because that's going to be animated. You're not even talking to a person because that's going to be animated. But the real thing in the room is the shit.
Right.
I would
Yeah.
just be like,
That-
we couldn't animate the dirt. We're animating everything
Everything
else, but
else.
here I am standing in dirt in a green mocap suit.
Yeah, like come.
I would,
That is-
I would be like, I need the head of a production assistant now.
Yeah. I need my agent.
Like, I
That's when Christian Bale gets to yell.
Yeah, like, I produced
People.
I produced One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Somebody get the shit out of here.
Michael
ridiculous.
Douglas, you're right. Wow.
I won an Oscar for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. No.
No, I'm not standing in shit when we don't have to
Yeah.
stand in shit.
Yeah.
If we had to, okay.
There is an awful lot of CGI helmets being taken off and put back on constantly throughout this.
Throughout.
Be like, I'm gonna
there was there were iterations of this movie where everybody was wearing a helmet throughout the whole thing, which I'm so glad that did not happen.
No, it would have been crazy. That would have been
I don't
crazy.
care how people breathe in the quantum realm. We didn't explain anything else. Why was that even a thought in somebody's head?
I mean, to be fair, they are definitely smaller than oxygen, like atoms at this point.
Particles, or atoms,
They did that in Avatar. They had helmets on, and I think Avatar's CG. I think this movie had way better CG than Avatar. But in it, they're wearing the helmets, and they're in the water, and you're just like, where are the water? So yeah, helmets would be bad because it just brings on more stuff that you're just like, wait a second, where's the reflection off the helmet, or why isn't there like watermarks or splashing?
Yeah,
right.
Bad.
That's true.
Having a thing between your actor's face and the camera too. Like, you could do that for a while, but like, damn, the whole time.
I used to joke about it because the joke used to be like, you have to show Robert Downey Jr.'s face. You're paying millions of dollars, you got to show his face. But now with the striking and the AI and everything, now I totally am like, no, they can't get away with just having a helmet for 2 hours.
No,
because that means they didn't have to have a fucking actor there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like
I used to
Pedro
think that was
Pascal.
silly, but now it's just like, no,
That's
fuck
true.
that. They need to show me that's Paul Rudd because Bob Iger's pulling fast ones on us.
If you go too long without seeing their face, you start to question.
Yeah,
they even show up to work.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's exactly
it's like the Mandalorian. Like he has to.
Right.
In his contract, he has to be in the suit a certain amount of time for him to get credit as an actor and not a voice actor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
and they were pushing to have him not be in the suit as much this last season too. And he was like, no, I think I need to do that. I need to be in the suit.
Yeah. Otherwise, am I even in this?
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, they go to the city. They meet Lord Krylar, who used to be nice and now is bad. And they got to get in a fight. Then they steal his ship and escape.
This bar is supposed to be a high-end restaurant, like a restaurant at the end of the universe. That was the inspiration for this.
Okay.
Did not work. It did not feel like that.
No, it didn't at all.
It felt like
cantina.
it felt like a hole, like a cave restaurant.
Yeah,
it didn't feel clean. Like I didn't want to eat off of any of the surfaces.
Just a bunch of aliens in a room.
Yeah,
had a good view.
Yeah,
of what?
and that's the thing. Like, it's supposed to be the best view in the quantum realm. Was what they were. And I was like, I don't know. Everything looks cool. Everything looks the same at a certain point.
Yeah,
like,
everything looks the same. I think part of the problem is that like the design of the quantum realm itself is so like amorphous and blobby and CGI that it's like it just doesn't feel like anything. It doesn't feel like they're anywhere.
Is it supposed to be chaotic, or is there actually a civilized societal structure where, this is a high-end restaurant? What's a low-end restaurant?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like your buildings aren't alive? Like things just split off into other things? Giant paramecium?
I wish that
so
we
is
had
it that? Or is it like Kang took over and it's been, now there are warlords that have divvied up the quantum realm and
they didn't show us well enough that Kang was bringing order into the chaos of the quantum realm. Like there should have been some like place in the distance where he is like stitching it together to be cohesive or something, some visual.
No, but they implied that things were better before him.
Yeah.
So bringing the order seems to have the opposite effect, I guess, because they used to have restaurants that weren't just for pricks.
Well, I mean, I think it's like how like
the
Empire brought order in Star Wars, but
right. I had that vibe with the stormtroopers and these weird quantum soldiers.
So this is the thing: the quantum soldiers are the opportunity to do that.
To do what?
Are these robots? These quantum soldiers, are they robots?
I don't think so, because the one says he'll die first.
Yeah, they speak
and they have personalities and stuff. I would have liked to see Kang rather than vaporize people, just automatically turn them into Kang bots. If he had just been turning the army against each other and turning them into robots, that would have been like, oh, holy crap, he can just turn you into a mindless
Like the Winkies and the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah. Like
That's it.
that would have made some more sense than just where did this army of people?
I guess I think the whole thing,
robots, yeah.
like every aspect of this movie, just feels kind of half baked.
Yeah,
It's
this needed more than one writer.
Well,
I hate saying that out loud. This needed another guy who didn't work on Rick and Morty.
like,
you know?
so it makes sense that if Kang is trapped in the quantum realm, that he would try to take dominion over any of the living things that are in the quantum realm. That makes perfect sense. But there's an undercurrent that they're not getting to that, like I said, implies that there's a society and politics and morals and ethics where we had always thought it was just like tardigrades that will eat you and things that split off into other stuff. But apparently there's a societal structure that Kang interrupted by being stuck there.
Mhm.
And that's weird.
Wildly diverse.
Wildly diverse.
Yeah. And also, like, if there was a societal structure, why was Michelle Pfeiffer living alone, like, off in a corner?
Like she's
On her
Clint
farm.
Eastwood, like Brian was saying. But yeah, excellent point. And everybody knows her because she was a freedom fighter before Kang.
No, after Kang.
After.
Kang's the one that she had to fight for the
After
freedom.
Kang?
But like, I guess she just never hung out with anybody before Kang came.
I guess not.
Yeah.
Very
They
odd.
knew her though, but people knew her, so maybe they just heard of her.
Yeah, she was infamous. Yeah,
For
Like she
freedom
was
fighting Kang, yeah.
For freedom.
yeah, like a desperado.
and then leaving also.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, because it was her fault in a sense, because she left and left him.
She
all
trapped him
crazy
down
with
there.
power
Yeah.
hungry. Although he normally is power hungry, he's a conqueror.
Yeah.
Yep.
Something.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, yeah.
Is it really her fault?
Yeah,
Why are they mad at her?
Yeah, it was like her relationship to Tony Montana. She knew that something was going to go very bad.
Yes.
Also, okay,
This is a
so that's-
Scarface remake, right?
That's a question that I have too about the relationship with Tony Montana thing. Were her and Kang, were they like romantic?
Oh,
or were they
I
just
didn't-
were they coworkers? Were they just like sharing a project?
I didn't
Because
get that.
Having a
honestly,
project.
I don't need Janet
I don't think
to-
they were romantic. I believe
be
that.
like-
Close though.
Yeah.
It would have been so much better for
Into-
her to have had a romantic relationship and then realize the guy that she was like, he's really smart, and he's funny, and he saved me. Oh shit, he's evil and trying to conquer the universe. Instead of Krylar. Or
Yeah.
plus Krylar.
Plus,
Yeah.
An independent
Also
woman.
Krylar.
Like
yeah, she
30
can come up with who
years.
she
Like-
wants.
he was just her friend. Like that's so thin and weak. to
Well,
me.
yeah,
Like-
their bond
She
was that they
seems
were
like-
both trapped there.
Yeah, they had a
with
mutual goal.
a vast
Which
and
is-
varied population with many different civilizations.
But like never have
Exactly.
I ever had a moment where I'm like, I want these two characters to be romantically entangled because they're the only two humans in the quantum realm.
It kind of
They
felt like they
share
were.
a trauma bond, but like they were
They
just
were,
kind of friends, I guess.
He's
he
the
betrayed
first-
me as my friend.
He's the first person that she's seen.
But
Like,
Yeah.
what about all the
She-
other people that lived there that
I
he
know.
conquered?
I know. Like, but
Yeah.
you know, they say that explicitly. It's just
Also-
like she's just been sitting on her ranch home, didn't even realize that there were other people out there.
Oh my
Um,
If Jonathan
and-
Majors crashes,
You can
my
check
Jonathan
God.
Majors,
You can
crashes
take the
into my
girl off the
yard.
farm, but
I'm gonna fall in love with him too. Look at that man; he's a beautiful man. Like
they've seen Gay Perry.
she's a good-looking woman. It just is wild to me that that was not a thing that they were like, we should write this or at least lean into that, because it makes way more sense for her to be conflicted about it, you know, instead of the guy I helped
Yeah.
I
Turned out
feel
to
like
be
that
evil.
would have muddled things
and I
up,
blew up a
Mhm.
thing.
It is
Like-
kind of weird.
especially because it was a prologue.
Yeah. But it is kind of weird that neither of them went anywhere and found any other people living in the quantum realm. They both were like, I guess it's all just like this one little spot that we stayed at.
The good thing we have some snorses.
Yeah, before then, Dr. Seuss was the conqueror.
So you ride around the farm and go like 1 inch. 1 inch.
Yes,
That's all they do.
that's
All day
enough
long.
for today.
Yeah.
I just
Would
feel
want
like
to see more.
their conversations later on in the movie could have used more something
Anything.
between them instead
No.
of what did you see when you touched my boat? That's it.
Also,
what did you see? I want to know what you saw when you touched my boat.
Also,
I've been wondering about that for years.
That's a weird feature for a ship to have.
Yeah, that seems a little.
Oh, that's been done in Marvel before. The Neuralink type shit.
I know. It just
that's how
seems like
Tony
you'd
tucks his suits, I guess.
It seems
Oh,
like
I'm not saying it's not ridiculous, but yeah.
If you're the Conqueror, you want to turn that off before she touches.
You want
your
that to be
ship.
password protection, I guess. Like, sure, other
Yeah.
people can,
Protected, yeah.
you can
If
adjust
you
the
can
windows and the music, but you cannot see where
If
I've
you
been
can
driving in
turn
my
your
car.
passenger's airbag off, you should be able to do that.
Yes.
Scott and Cassie, meanwhile, are told by Jentora that Janet's involvement with Kang is why he rose to power. They get attacked by Kang's forces, led by MODOK, who is revealed to be Darren from the first movie. And
I do like that it was Bill Murray that said mechanized organism design. It was cool that it was him that said it for the first time.
Yeah, definitely. MODOK's the one that got Cassie's message when she was broadcasting into the quantum realm. He captures them and takes them to Kang.
My only problem, I'll make it quick. My only problem with MODOK is that it looked as though it was a face projected on a screen rather than three-dimensional face, which is what MODOK is. They could have just been Corey Stoll's face, but instead it looked like it was a flat screen.
Yeah.
Well, it was curved, but a flat screen with a face projected.
And it was weirdly distorted, his face, too. He looked a lot like
Yes.
George Lopez in freaking Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Right. Yes. Where they could have just made him a face. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was all. I'm slinking back now.
That's a purist thing, because as someone who doesn't know his character before this, I thought it looked cool. But as his
all
character, looked like a screen, because that's what I thought. Actually, I thought that's what it was supposed to be. It was like a screen that just kind of.
Oh, I think it was. Yeah, I think that's the choice that they're making. That was my only little, because I like MODOK.
I liked the mask.
Yeah.
The evil.
Yeah, that
mask
looked
was
good.
3D,
The mask that comes down they
Yeah.
did that well.
Yeah. Aboard Krylar's ship, Janet tells Cassie and Hank all about her backstory with Kang. We get the flashback where they're on the ranch dreaming of being someplace where there's other sentient beings, not realizing they live just right over the hill.
Oh, seldom is her.
Then she sees Kang as the Conqueror through the psychic spaceship, and then Janet uses Pym particles to make his power core really big, relatively really big to them there.
Yeah.
The whole when
decent size.
When Scott becomes giant, I can never stop thinking, well, he's still really tiny. What is like? I guess it's
In the quantum realm, yeah.
I guess it's relative, but he shrunk down so small that getting that much bigger shouldn't be. It gets weird at a point where it's like, is it just shrinking and growing, or do you enter some sort of thing where relative to everything else, you are now normal size? So then he does become big. Like, how does that work?
And now there's a top and a bottom. In the first, like, you were just sort of floating in the quantum realm.
Yeah.
Now there's a horizon and a sky and the ground, and it's very
well. She does say that you passing through the like veil or whatever. There was a word, or the membrane.
Oh yeah, you're right. There's different levels.
Because she wasn't in the quantum realm, like inside it.
They're in
Scott.
She's like, I've never been to Prague.
Yeah.
Or when Hank rescued her, she wasn't inside the quantum realm. She was on the threshold above it.
She was on the balcony.
Yeah, because Hank asked, "Why haven't I seen this before?" Because they
Yeah,
put that in.
That's right.
Well, then how'd she get out of that part of the quantum realm into the other part of the quantum realm?
Yeah, if she got that far, why didn't she just go the rest of the way?
I don't know how she got out, but there was a layover in Dallas Fort Worth. I know that.
She was trying to fly from Tucson to LA, but she had to stop at Phoenix.
Phoenix for 2 hours.
Planes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After stopping in LA.
So let's see. Yeah, then the Scott and Cassie get taken to Kang, who demands that Scott helps him get his power core back, or else he'll kill Cassie. Scott reluctantly agrees. He gets taken to the core, and then out of nowhere, for some reason, suddenly he can talk to Hope on the radio again.
And we get
Yes.
the Kang, have I killed you before?
Yeah.
Conversation.
After
you
he
the
calls
one-
him- he says he's an Avenger. It's like, oh, you're not the one with the hammer.
Yeah, that's interesting to say.
Yeah.
Just
But yeah, the have I killed you before? How many Avengers has he killed?
But
At
also,
this point.
obviously enough that he has forgotten what they look like.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or
That's
who
a
all they
lot.
are. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, no, so that's truly a dangerous individual. But also, why would Scott know that? He knows the variants don't have the memories of the other variants.
Right. So how would he know what?
How would when he says, "Have I killed you before?" Scott wouldn't know.
He'd be dead.
Yeah.
Oh, right, of course.
Well,
yeah,
and
that's
that-
why it's a mocking villain kind of thing.
Yeah.
It would have been
It's a
interesting
flex.
though
Oh,
for that to be
That's what it is.
a thing. There's not another Scott or something. Like I've never killed an Ant-Man before. You're not Hank Pym. Who are you?
Who knows?
Like something like that would have been interesting. That's also pigeonholing them into the future or whatever. But
Yeah.
Well, how many different million things did Doctor Strange see? You know, as far as how Endgame would end up.
it was
Now, how
14
many?
million.
Well, yeah, and how many of those would have involved Kang or He Who Remains or some variant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they're going to retcon that. They are not going to show us Thanos and Kang together, but they're going to have to reference it.
I think they will
I
show
don't
us
know
Thanos
if they're
and
not
Kang
going to show
together.
us. They may show
I think
us.
that we're
Well,
going to
maybe
get
they will.
Brolin again, and I think
Okay,
that he is going
maybe.
to. He's going to pass time right through him like he did in the comics,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to watch Thanos die and be like, oh, he's bad.
That's true. We saw him again in Multiverse of Madness. He didn't speak, but I didn't think we'd
Yeah.
see him again.
Yeah.
Same.
I think it's very possible that Thanos tries to fight Kang. I'd love to see him team up with the Avengers. Honestly, that'd be incredible.
That's the best Thanos stories are oftentimes him being the reluctant, like, all right. I guess I got to do this so I can do evil again.
Mm-hmm.
And Kang is obviously above the six singularities. The Infinity Stones don't seem like they would benefit or harm Kang
No,
in one way or another.
Yeah, exactly. So Scott gets taken to the core. He shrinks down and goes inside, and then he gets split into a bunch of different Scotts.
This is the coolest part of the movie to me.
Definitely.
This concept is cool. The probability field, probability storm thing is cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And getting them to have a hive mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like Scott's like, he gets them to work together. So, Zarina, normally Al is our science expert. Is this true?
Yeah. Well,
Is this how it works?
How,
Well, like
how
you guys were-
accurate is this in your experience when you get shrunk down?
Just nice to have a refreshing new take.
well, like you guys were talking about, who was the son of the guy who did the
Hewitt?
multi.
The eels
Hewitt, yeah.
guy.
Like, Hewitt, yeah. So
Yeah.
they say that that's true, and that's why they're doing experiments separating particles to see if they have entanglement, and they're finding out that there's some sort of entanglement somehow. So, and that would have to go through something. So who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know, Al. What do you think? I mean, theoretically, it's true. Theoretically.
I think I might have missed what the question was.
I-
What we were talking about.
When you
I
get
guess I was-
shrunk down and there's a lot of you.
Yeah.
or
The probability storm.
all the
thing.
probabilities existing at once.
And that's
I guess that's the
kinda like-
closest. I was just being a smartass in general, but then I guess if I boil it down, the quantum science behind every probability
That's it.
existing at once in one space instead of the multiverse or different dimensions. But again, I was just being
My new question is
This is an example of there being, I don't know, 100 Schrodinger's cat instead of just two.
Mm.
One's alive, one's dead. It's just like one wants
right,
chocolate
yeah.
and one wants vanilla. So they split off
And then two different, yeah.
Well, and they weren't real, but
No.
they were real. They were tangible physical objects, but the moment that they all shared whatever agreeable concept, they disappeared. They became that to me that was really cool. Part of it's like the observer aspect of it was interesting.
That's a case of the probability field collapsing when they all became one again. The probability field collapsed.
I see.
I did like the characterization of MODOK in that moment. What? How is this happen? Like he's so confused that like the power of love can connect you or whatever.
Yeah. So my follow-up science question is quantum the new nano?
Yeah, just the catch-all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or gamma.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a great time to ask the question. What is Quantumania? Is it a thing?
Well,
or does it not exist?
It was a tour in the late 70s that tried to recreate the spirit of the original Quantumania.
Of the original Quantums.
Yeah.
They were 4 lads from Liverpool.
Yeah, that's where it started. The Quantumania. I think the mania is, how crazy. There's so many different Ant-Mans.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely wanted this to be like crazy. Like, they promised a lot with the titles they revealed that they did not deliver upon, both in the Multiverse of Madness and Quantumania. I don't feel like either of those films lived up to their titles.
They were cool names. It's like being in a band with a cool name.
But
and
this
bad
movie
songs.
should have been more Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah.
And less Star Wars.
Yes, I would have loved it to be so Buckaroo Banzai.
Because you had Bill Murray there in a wacky, hairdo and all these different kinds of characters. But again, it had that like socio-political thing going on that kept it from being as wacky. Like, because Chidi's character, I love that one. He can read everyone's thoughts and how disgusted he is. It was like the last movie with the dude who could smell everything. That was his super. He's like, the world's covered in urine. Like, that's a funny joke to do.
Please stop thinking that.
Yeah, please stop thinking that.
Please stop thinking that.
And so it's wacky, the guy with the holes, and then it's immediately like, I fought my whole like the one chick was very Gamora. Like, she's seen some shit. Yeah. She's over it. I'm going to kill everyone with my melty stick. I'm done. I'm just fucking done.
Yeah. But
her character to me seemed kind of like negligible. I didn't really get into her. And I like her as an actress. I mean, who doesn't, right? But meh.
Right. Yeah, no. She had no characterization. She's just like, I'm just the leader of the rebels. That's her only characterization.
I'm mean.
She didn't even have many lines.
She needed a pet or something.
Yeah.
She needed like a tiger or some sort of creature to...
A sniger?
A sniger, please.
That would have been cool.
Snail tiger?
A snalliger. Half tiger, half lion, half snail. All 3 halves represented.
Extra deadly, but extra slow. Yeah, it can regrow itself like a slug.
So after Hope inexplicably starts receiving Scott's radio signals again, she goes and helps him get the power core.
They're in a good cell phone reception area at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it sounded like. Honestly, it sounded like she just got closer and they can have better reception.
We didn't talk about Baskin Robbins Scott.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was the best.
Yeah,
that was awesome. There was they briefly toyed with the idea of having Hope with children in the quantum probability field thing. Right? Yeah. It's just weird to me that like you would have her with babies down there, like, because those aren't her.
Yeah.
Do those babies then, like, if they decide to cry or be happy, do they double? Like, yeah,
probability babies, probabilities.
I mean, it would have been cool to have more characterization for Hope, but like also giving the lady character babies is not characterization.
No, it is not. Babies is not the only thing you have to do for female characters, Hollywood.
I think that, Jeff Loveness needed a woman to write this movie with him, honestly. Yeah, there were a couple of moments during the audio commentary I was like, this guy definitely fucking writes for Rick and Morty because he is not funny. like to listen to talk. He has made a couple of comments where I'm like, ooh, yikes, this is for perpetuity, pal.
Ugh.
Like,
They're recording this.
And to just go back, Josh, a probability baby is what exists in that moment after she pees on the stick, but before it turns blue.
That's right. It could be anything at that point. Did you pee on a stick? I did. It was inclusive. That's right. That's one of my favorite Jim Halpert lines. All right.
Kang decides he's not going to let them go or whatever, and I don't know. He was just not going to kill Cassie, and he did not kill Cassie, so it's not like he really went back on it. They didn't really get a good deal from Kang in the first place, I think. And then they were shocked that he was like, no, I'm still going to go be evil. Yeah. I don't know. He captures Janet with MODOK, who destroys her ship with Hank on it, as far as we can tell. But then we find out that he got rescued by the ants, who have rapidly evolved. It's like, I know socialism's a really loaded word these days, but
and to me, that joke did not land.
No.
I was like,
because
yeah,
we know that they have hive societies. We have for a long, long time. Yes, that's an easy metaphor. Socialism.
And also, is socialism a loaded word in the MCU with the blip and everything?
Or the quantum realm?
Yeah.
We do hear the ants throughout the movie, which I thought was a cool little detail. On rewatch, you can hear the little chittering sound that they make in his radio or in his earpiece.
Yeah.
And he's and you see Hank kind of look off into the middle distance every once in a while.
That's true. Yeah, I did catch that.
Which I thought was cool. I was really glad that they telegraphed that as well as they did, especially on rewatches. Like, oh, Hank's on his own adventure this whole movie. He's reconnecting with his ants. Hank is just along for the ride.
It's a nice reminder that he's Ant-Man.
Yeah.
We know even in the comics that Scott just, sort of took on the suit to help Hank, but he's Ant-Man. Yeah. He's the ant scientist.
Yes, absolutely.
Ant scientist.
They don't just give that. Yeah, but I love how what a convenient umbrella ant science.
He has a PhD in ants, not entomology, just ants.
Just ants, as in your uncle's wife.
Yeah.
He's a real freak.
So, let's see. Hank, Scott, and Hope make their way to Kang's fortress, castle, whatever. Meanwhile, Cassie rescues Gentara from the dungeons, the holding cells. They start an uprising against Kang and his army.
This was the point in the movie that I finally noticed the closed captioning was calling them, the guards was calling them quantum knots.
Quantum knots. So there is a training program.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you got to be in the Air Force first.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah. We don't have a quantum force yet.
So the things with the shields were called quantum knots?
Yeah. The faceless.
The faceless people.
The cannon fodder.
Yeah.
Whatever those are.
Who and why quantum knots?
I don't know.
Yeah,
again, did they have jobs before Kang?
Yeah,
right. Recruited.
Is that one population that he conquered? And they're
exploited?
We'd like to be conquered. We don't like all these other colorful, exciting creatures that live here.
We'll be in your army. Yeah, the Romans did it all the time, but we have no clue.
Yeah,
and he just a speech to them. They're people.
She's doing it. I thought. Wait, who's?
Well, he starts a speech, and then she's like, she cuts
but they can't take our freedom.
Yeah. No, he starts a speech, and then she's like, hey,
my
name is
on?
Cassie, and I'm here to say.
Hello, quantum world.
I hate Kang in a major way.
Yeah. She's like, I love rice. It's great when you want to eat 10,000 or something. Ha ha.
What?
That was what's his face?
Rodney Dangerfield?
Not
joke?
Dangerfield. The guy who died from the 90s.
Kinnison?
Not Kinnison.
Oh,
the one,
Bill Hicks.
Guy.
not
Bill
Hicks. The other one.
No?
A hater. Oh yeah.
George Carlin?
Not. I'll remember later. Anyways.
Yeah, guy from the 90s that died.
Yeah, that guy was a stand-up comedian. He was on Letterman a lot. He always had the one-liners over and over again.
Yeah,
What is his
SNL.
name?
Oh, the friend from the show with Larry David in it that died recently.
What is his?
That's the guy.
Super Dave? Bob Einstein?
No.
Not Bob Einstein.
No.
The other guy. The long-haired, looks like.
Are you talking about Stephen Wright? Because he's
Not
alive.
Stephen Wright.
Not Stephen Wright.
We'll move on.
All right.
So anyways, there's the big fight at the end. Janet fixes the power core.
Richard Lewis is still alive as well. Is that who you're talking about?
Not Richard Lewis. Not Richard Lewis.
That's what I was thinking of. So it's not Richard Lewis.
He wished me well on my sobriety announcement one.
Aw.
That's awesome. Oh, yeah.
Sent me a message. Serious.
Wow.
Anyways,
That's
but
awesome.
we're not talking
Mitch
about him
Hedberg.
either.
Well, but I mean,
Mitch Hedberg?
Who, Al?
That's the 90s.
Hedberg. Thank you.
Mitch Hedberg.
Mitch Hedberg.
Mitch Hedberg. Yes. Oh my God. That was
Donut
He was,
receipt
more,
guy.
he
It
was
is
Gen
Mitch
X,
Hedberg.
so I kept trying to think of somebody.
Oh, yeah. No. But yeah, Mitch Hedberg. Yeah, no, he said the rice thing. That was a Hedberg joke.
That's right, when you want to eat 10,000.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
Anyways,
Case closed.
Yeah. So they have the big fight. MODOK ends up switching sides because Cassie tells him not to be a dick.
That was really cool looking
I like that.
when she expanded. She's like, please let this work. And she gets really big and punches him. That looked so good.
Yeah.
this slow motion of him getting punched in the face, too, was really satisfying.
Yeah.
He's got a
Well,
very
and-
punchable face.
Her character in the books becomes Stature. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Mm.
Yeah. Who uses the giant form more often than the ant-sized form.
Mm.
So she may be a young Avenger coming up.
I really liked her performance of this whole bit of like, don't be a dick. Like, stop being a dick. And that's
It's never
what
too
turns
late.
him.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I just feel like it. Yeah, she delivered the vibe that would turn somebody a little warmer, but just the writing of it was just so bland.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and kind of sloppy.
first
Like,
draft
she's
kinda
literally
shit.
running away as she says it.
Well, and
Yeah.
It's
so
never too late to be a dick. It's like, hey, can we just finish our scene? Why are you running away?
well, and
Yeah.
like all the jokes, there were fine jokes in here, but none of them really landed. They were like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a good way to say about a lot of it. Like, just certain things didn't land. There was a lot I liked, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot just didn't land. Half baked. Anyways, Scott then has to do, the protagonist's personal fight with the antagonist.
But he gets really big first.
Yeah, he gets really big and Cassie gets really big. And then there's that, and then but
And that was another
Big,
Another cool
big in
thing
Japan.
another cool thing that did work when Wasp threw tiny Scott, and then he got gigantic to
Yeah.
kick the force
Fastball
field.
special.
The fastball special.
yeah.
Well, and you also see him pick up the top of one of those buildings, like he's Captain America holding the shield.
Yeah.
There were some
Oh,
really
yeah.
cool shots in this sequence this was the best part of like the action was him being big and yelling.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. So they let's see. Then Scott is fighting Kang, and then
Losing badly.
he's losing, and then Hope shows up and finally does something in the movie.
Yay, here she comes
No,
again to save
she
Scott.
saves him. She saves him for
Again.
what? Third time she saves him?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Kang gets shrunk down or sucked in or something to the core thing.
The power
Or he's
core.
dead, died returning to his planet. I don't know.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what battle we were at.
The last one.
But the one before that, when you've got the 3 shrinking, expanding people.
Mhm.
Wasp never gets big.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know if Wasp can.
He
get
never
big.
does, right? Yeah.
But
she never does,
they're
but
getting
she can.
they're getting badly beaten at that point when the ants show up.
Yeah.
But you're right. She never gets big, but at the same time, he never has wings when that's something that could easily be added to his.
Very easily added and would be very
Oh, yeah.
useful.
Yeah.
Or he could put jets on his boots and fly like
And he's
Star-Lord.
like Iron Man.
He still doesn't have.
Star-Lord, where Star-Lord's
He
like
doesn't have
straight out.
blasters because she has blasters on her arms too.
Yeah.
Scott
Yeah.
is just. He is just punching people.
Yeah, he just
The whole
gets big
time.
and small. That's his only thing.
Jump and
Yeah.
tap.
I will never get
The
over,
old jump and tap.
Yeah. I will never get over
5
how-
years of
how-
jump and tap.
how much
6 years of jazz.
I will never get over what sort of core strength Star-Lord has to have to be able to stay perfectly perpendicular to the ground when his boots are shooting.
When his blasters are, yeah.
All right. Yeah. So anyways,
See, for me, it went on too long for me. Like you guys said, it was the most
It was-
action.
it was the
I
big-
like, all right.
It did go on too long.
Yeah.
it was the big
Yeah.
CGI battle fest at the end of every Marvel movie. And it was more CGI battle fest than a lot of them are.
It did. This movie does a lot of like, I don't even know what to call it. Like in general, you want things to build up tension. You want things to accelerate to a point where we're at a fever pitch and the movie is culminating in something that's happening. This movie kept like culminating and then like ratcheting back down and then like
Right.
like that quantum heist should not have happened so much earlier than this scene. You know, like there's a lot of downtime between that of like people talking about what they're gonna do and Cassie's gonna get on her radio and all this stuff. Like, why do
Yeah.
you keep like the fight? He's big and then he's small and then Kang is blasting people.
Yeah.
Like,
I, at a certain point, I'm just tired of seeing people shoot CGI, blue and red CGI at each other.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
They
the
could have
big
done-
Scott was clever. What is Kang gonna do about Big Scott? Is he gonna flick him? Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Big Scott fighting Kang would have been very interesting.
And all we see is him grab him the one time, and then Kang kind of blows him up away from him or something, and he's small again.
Yeah. Yeah.
They could have done a lot more with a lot of things.
Yeah, definitely disappointing.
But that's really all I.
But anyways, so Kang gets sucked into the thing after Hope shows
Into the
back up
core.
and saves him. Yeah, sucks into the
Kang is now inside the core, smaller than anything. Kang is now in the probability field. He's in that probability matrix with
Oh,
infinite versions of himself.
right.
I'm really excited for that to be the Kang that we see emerge at some point.
What if that's what did it?
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like, what if that's what split off all the different variants of him? Because we see we're not quite there yet. There is a post credit where there's a few variants talking to each other.
yeah.
yeah. But that's just, I think it's a really cool way to leave this character. Like our crime Kang, the bad Kang. We introduce him and then we bridge him for 5 movies while he is battling himself.
Mm.
And
Right.
he will have to emerge as a singular figure who has figured out getting out, you know.
They've already, because in Loki, he's he who remains, and we know that he who remains is different than Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
So it's confusing, and it's going to get more confusing. But they're starting.
Yeah, they are.
But I wonder if, they could go back and retcon that, putting him in the probability chamber type thing and kind of trapping him in there could have created all the probable Kangs.
Yeah.
I call them probable Kangs. I don't know if anybody else does.
I just assumed that was his people. That was like the race of people he came from.
Oh,
Yeah. I see.
That's what. Yeah, that they all. They're all.
No, they're all variations. We don't really know where he came from. Do
yeah.
we?
They're all the same guy from different multiverses.
Oh, okay.
All the different Kangs that can.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. And then it turns out that, so I really thought like it was like, oh, Scott and Hope are stuck here, but it turns out Cassie can just open the portal whenever she wants.
Yeah.
That's how that was written initially too. They were supposed to get trapped in the quantum realm, and they decided against it, which I prefer. I don't want them to be trapped in the quantum realm.
I don't want them trapped in the quantum realm, but just like, oh no, she can just turn it back on. It's so lame.
So that's the weird thing about the quantum realm is time seems to pass evenly. Well, it seems to pass the same in the quantum realm as it does the real world. But above the quantum realm, time works different. You know?
Yeah.
Like, they like pop out and it's not years later. Like they have an early birthday for Cassie. But they make it seem like she used the time advantage to turn on the machine and reverse engineer because she didn't have a thing that could get them out of the quantum realm. Did she just turn on the machine and it worked?
You're right. They are measuring time.
Yeah, she didn't have a portal to the quantum realm. She had a thing that went down into the quantum realm.
Yeah. She could have talked to her dad and said, like, hey, Dad, we're going to figure out a plan to get you out. I'm going to reverse engineer the thing that Kang did. Give me a week or something. Like, but it just happens minutes later. She's like,
literally.
It's like an air fryer. It's amazing.
It was Janet who created the portal in the first place to get them home again.
That's true. Because right before they blink,
she's in the tower and calls them after Kang gets ant swarmed. It says, I think I found a way home. It was Janet.
Using the power cell thing.
Who figured that out. Yeah, using the power core.
But then they reopened it again because it closed, right?
Right. And then they just reopened it from the regular world.
All we knew was Janet at the end of the second one. It was the end of the second one, right? Where they're supposed to pull Scott out of the quantum realm and they blip.
Yeah, and he's in the van.
Yeah, it was Janet that had figured out how to do that.
Yeah. So anyways, we get a reprise of the welcome back montage and voiceover, except this time there's a touch of existential dread as he starts to worry about the universe at large.
Right, that's what I mean. Maybe he made all the probable oh man, sorry. I'll go write it in my diary.
but
yes, he's worried for sure.
Yeah, and it's It's Cassie's early birthday. It's always Kathy's birthday. Kathy from HR.
It's Kathy with a K or Kathy with a C.
It's Cassie's belated birthdays.
Yeah.
So did Scott emerge in the same universe, untouched by Kang? Or is this a fucked up version of the universe that Kang has put him in? Because Kang has already gone through time, come out of the thing on the other end, come back and fucked up Scott's world.
I wonder if it's not a similar situation to Tony and Thanos, where like we never really saw what Tony saw in Age of Ultron, but he saw something and he never really revealed it to anybody until it was too late. And so that existential dread you were just thinking, I wonder if it's the same kind of thing. Scott, like, I saw a possibility and I wonder if I had something to do with that possibility.
I like that, Brian, how you said it might be because like nobody knows him anymore. He has to pay for his coffee. And what happened? Like that was just all in their world. Like nobody knows that this fight happened, right? Like,
right.
But everyone's treating him differently. How would they know? So I was wondering about that. So I wonder. Oh,
did they come back to a different? Yeah,
a different where he's not the same popular guy that he was.
And again, time doesn't work the same way to Kang. Like in the quantum realm, I'm sure time doesn't work the same, but like to Kang, he can go back in time before this.
He doesn't live in a straight line.
Yeah.
And change the world. If he has already escaped from that probability thing at some point in the future, he can go back in time and change the world while they're in the quantum realm fighting Kang, you know? Like in that moment, change everything.
Yeah.
That's why coffee costs $12 now.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, in San Francisco, I think that's probably about right.
Probably about right.
There was nothing on the menu board behind that guy that was $12. There was nothing on the menu that was $12.
I think he was trying to get a little.
But he got a coffee and a sandwich, didn't he?
No, it was just coffee.
Just the coffee this time?
The first time it was,
and I think it was just black coffee too.
Yeah. No, I think that guy's trying to get back some of the money he lost by giving him free coffees before. Anyways, credits roll. In the mid-credits scene, we see the Council of Kangs.
Ramatut.
Yep.
We see it for
Immortus.
Immortus.
Yeah.
Artists.
There we get what was the name of the there was a Kree Kang. There was like all sorts of alien Kangs in there.
That lizard Kang that's from that shot in the comics or from that panel of the council.
Of all the Council of Kangs. Yeah. They recreated that panel pretty well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so it is the Centurion, Ramatut, and Immortus.
Yeah.
Right? Those are our
three big guns.
primary.
Yeah.
And then our Prime King. We just
there's Kang the Conqueror, the two you just mentioned, He Who Remains from the Loki series, and then Victor Timely.
And he Who Remains and Victor Timely are
essentially the same
timeline, probably our Prime King is also probably that same guy. That's my guess.
That's the whole. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. He's got to be evil.
You can argue that they are all the same.
Yeah, he's got to be evil and good and curious and all of those things all at once for him to be fully fleshed out and dynamic.
And they were the ones who had exiled Kang the Conqueror to the quantum realm in the first place.
Yeah.
Right. He's they're the they he keeps referring to.
Yeah. And then in a final post-credit
Not
scene,
the Avengers.
Loki and Mobius go and see Victor Timely on Earth in early 1900s.
And his astounding temporal marvel.
Yes.
This was an interesting choice to put Owen Wilson in this. It would have been fine just to have Loki in it, but like,
it was
this
cool.
This isn't the first scene of season 2, clearly.
Yeah.
Because season 1 ends with Loki and Owen Wilson not knowing each other necessarily, or Owen Wilson. Yeah.
Well, I'm so ready for it to be a buddy show.
Yeah, buddy cop show. Bring it.
And I love the Victor Timely thing. I just love it because like it gives you that vibe of like Tesla and the powers of the ether kind of like shit. It's like, of course, a time traveler would come back and use close-up magic and electricity.
When scientists used to do stage shows.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, nobody was paying you to do science. You were selling your science.
You were just a math magician.
So, that's it. Do we have any unanswered questions we haven't asked yet? I asked all of mine already.
That's all of mine.
Why do you guys think it did so bad? Just because of the storyline, or because it was up against? Because it was up against Avatar, or?
No,
I heard one. Go ahead.
Avatar was out for 3 months, though.
Yeah, guess it's not that.
I heard that, and I don't know if it's true, but that they diverted a bunch of production money, CGI and computer animation money away from it to put it towards Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which maybe was a smart move because that has been a huge success.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of points in this where the effects looked hokey.
They looked bad.
In their own kind of way. I don't know how to put it. Not just green screen hokey, but just like
cartoonish.
Yeah, a little too cartoonishy. Yeah. Hard to say. I think that's
Peyton Reed said there are 2,500 VFX shots in this movie. Unique individual VFX shots that they ordered from a production house. There are 124 minutes in this movie. There are at least 20 VFX shots per minute in this movie. Unique VFX shots from a different VFX house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like,
so I think that's the kind of thing. I think more than the story or the portrayals, I think it was, and like we all said, they got right up to the line. They almost succeeded on a few things they were trying to do.
I do think the script needed another pass.
Yeah.
It needed something that just ties it together. I read a fun theory before this came out about how this was a Yellow Brick Road Wizard of Oz story and how they were entangling with the quantum realm, and that was immediately way more interesting than this.
Yeah. Well, and it's a little baffling too because they had so much time to work on this script. They started writing it started being written during the pandemic. They had a lot of time.
Oh, It's funny you say the Wizard of Oz thing, because that's exactly what Loki ended up. They literally had the fake council of, he was the wizard. He was literally the wizard behind the curtain.
Well, and they used "Goodbye Yellow Brick Road" so heavily in the promotion of this that
he's the wizard controlling things.
There are no allusions to it really in the movie.
No,
which is disappointing. Because, like, as a cultural touchstone, we all know the Wizard of Oz. Doesn't matter what country you're from.
Yeah, actually,
it's pretty much like a familiar element.
Yeah.
That 100% would have worked great because they essentially get sucked up in a tornado and sent to a magic land.
Right. No, I didn't feel Wizard of Oz at all from that movie,
it's too Rick and Morty and not enough Wizard of Oz. It's not Wizard of Oz at all. For real. Yeah. Like,
I think people would have been a little more forgiving of the CGI if it had been an absolute banger of a script. And
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
Laserhead was the Tin Man.
All right.
Who was the Scarecrow?
The little thing that had no holes.
Veb.
Oh yeah.
Veb.
Yeah. Oh, and no brain,
no Cowardly Lion. Do we have Cowardly Lion?
Cowardly Lion.
Chidi's character, maybe he wasn't that cowardly, but he was sort of like, just stop. Yeah, I don't know. You were there, and you were there. You weren't there.
That would have been a really funny ending to this movie too. Just having that be the way that it wraps up, because they had a perfect opportunity for that. This movie is the perfect example of just missing the line on every single thing.
Yeah, it really
didn't come together.
Yeah, there was a lot of potential in all the separate elements, but it just didn't work as a whole.
Yeah.
So, all right, that means it's time to do something we have not done in quite a while. We are going to rank it.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh, the ranking. I haven't even seen.
Yeah, so for perspective, we have the first Ant-Man at number 32. It's in between Captain Marvel and Black Widow. Ant-Man and the Wasp at number 34, right above Eternals.
Okay. Let's go down a little bit.
I agree. I feel like Avengers,
let's go down.
Birds of Prey,
Let's go
Wonder
down.
Woman's, Iron Man 3,
More.
Dark Knight Rises, Superman,
Go down.
Doctor Strange.
Go down. Keep going down. Keep going down. Batman Returns, maybe?
Oh, I love Batman Returns.
Same. Defender and Unbreakable.
Blade,
Swamp Thing.
Defender.
Put this thing.
Unbreakable.
It's got to be under Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing, The Crow.
That's such a classic.
I would almost say in between. I would almost say Under the Crow.
Under the Crow.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that, but yeah, there's some real
flies.
gems there. Or Orgasmo, Batman 66, The Crow, Swamp Thing.
Wolverine.
But this is bonkers.
Who made this list?
No, that's the Wolverine.
Oh, okay.
my father's Wolverine.
We are all ashamed of this list because it's a mess.
No, this list
Judge us
is
accordingly.
It started out so proud and so justifiable.
This list
We
is
had
ridiculous.
such reasoning for Swamp Thing being so high for so long.
I'm still Swamp Thing. Team Swamp Thing.
I still love it. I'm still Tuber. I'm in tubers.
So I don't know. Al, thoughts?
Better than Shazam, to me.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah, I don't want to dip it below Dark World or Superman Returns. Definitely.
Yeah. Definitely better than The Wolverine. That movie was not good.
That's hard. That's hard to watch.
What about In Between Orgasmo and Superman 2? I mean,
Oh,
Superman
see, now I don't
2.
want to put it above Superman 2.
Yeah, that's a tough one, Superman 2. So in between that and Shazam, because it does not belong below Shazam, Dark World, Wolverine. Yeah. No.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Super and Shazam is fine with me.
All right.
That's the new special at Panera.
Super
Shazam.
So Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man.
Quantumania goes at number 62 on our big list.
All right, 62
of things that we talk about.
Yeah, our list of something.
Which means it's time to look at next week. And next week on Harmless Phosphorescence, we are going to be watching Shazam 2. What is that even called? Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
Fury of the Gods.
A movie.
Helen Mirren's mad.
A movie that was in theaters for 3 whole weeks. They pulled it after 3 weeks.
DC's getting. Oof.
It's a bad
Pile drive.
WB
Pile driven.
Yeah, Warner Brothers is like, thank God for Barbie at this point.
I tried to watch Shazam, Fury of the Gods. I put it on in the background at some point a couple of weeks ago, and I watched it. I didn't make it an hour into it. I was like,
I didn't finish it.
Yeah,
I didn't. Yep.
Yeah, and I really like Helen Mirren a lot.
Yeah,
I really liked Shazam. I like the kid who plays Shazam and Zach. What's his Levi? But yeah, they don't know what to do with their own properties.
No, they don't. I was a little hopeful for Blue Beetle, but at this point, I'm like, I don't even know if it matters. I don't know
I saw
if
the
it
trailer
matters.
yesterday, and
but seriously, how does a movie with MODOK in it do better than a movie with Captain Marvel in it, who's been around since like the 20s or 30s? You know, like Shazam shouldn't have flopped so badly. Even Black Adam shouldn't. The Rock is a popular, but DC just has no fucking clue.
DC has.
Have you guys done Black Adam yet?
We did.
Yeah,
we did, and the it was something. The something changed. What changed? The paradigm. What was it? The Rock changed. According to himself.
Executive producers and presidents of DC changed as a result.
Yes.
Yeah. Great job, Dwayne.
The balance of power changed thanks to Black Adam, but not in the way he meant.
Not how he wanted.
Yeah. So that is it. That is it for this week on Harmless Phosphorescence. We'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging out with us. This has been your host, Throw Smiley, reminding you that it is never too late to stop being a dick.
That's true. And I also want to let you know that some of us have holes. I'm Josh C.
I have 7.
Nice.
Don't worry, I'm not dead. I'll be back in like 10 movies. I'm Brian Lesh.
I am the ultimate weapon. This is Serena.
Oh.
And I'm craving a lime. Oh, citrus.
Citrus, right?
Citrus, right. Oh, I'm Alaric Weber. I will burn you out of time.
We'll see you next time, everybody.
What was that last thing you said?
I will burn you out of time.
Oh, yeah, I know. As if we were having a phone conversation, and then you quickly put that in at the last second.
As I'm running away.
Yeah, like, all right, I'll talk to you later. I'm going to murder you. Wait, what?
Wait, what is that? All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Oh, I thought we were on.